It's going to take guts to make the 200-mile trip from Liberty to Austin. Along the way are 5 rounds of grueling playoff softball. Lose, and you go home. Once you get there, another 2 until you're the last one standing. Will it be the Lady Panthers? Time to find out. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood on play-by-play, producer Richard Ewing. It's game day with Liberty Panther softball. Let's get it. Good afternoon, Panther Nation. This is Joe Roberts alongside Ross Norwood, who's going to be doing play-by-play, and producer Richard Ewing, Liberty Panther Sports Network. We are here at Lady Radler Field in Navasota, Texas for round number 5. Your Liberty Lady Panthers, the winners of 4 consecutive rounds by way of the sweep, heading into the regional championship game against the Lady Broncos of Lake Belton. I almost said Lady Belton. Lake Belton Lady Broncos, who also have arrived via a couple of sweeps, and most recently last week outlasted the Huffman-Hargrave Lady Falcons. And here we have it, game number 1. It's going to be in about 45 minutes. Something different, Ross. Today we're going to be doing this live pregame show, and then when we're about 5 minutes away from game time, we're going to have to go dark. We'll still be doing audio. There will still be graphics on the screen. You'll still be able to follow along with the game. You just won't be able to see anything that's live here per UIL. Texan Live will be covering the game, and they do have a pay site if that's something that you desire. However, again, this is Liberty Panther Sports Network. Ross, yesterday we had the opportunity to sit down with our 3 seniors. Talk about that.
Good opportunity to get one last conversation in with the 3 seniors. The 3 seniors that were part of the state championship team in 2018 as freshmen, as they reflected on what their career in softball has meant and where they're going next.
Casey West, Jalen Pritchard, Michaela Berkland, and we have that interview or clips from it right now.
It was a gut check for me. Like, it changed my perspective on how I view things. Like, simplest things that we have here is like they're prized over there, and so never take anything for granted. That's really what it taught me. Always be grateful for what you have.
At Lady Panther Diamond, where the journey to the regional finals began, I had the opportunity to sit down with the 3 Lady Panther seniors who have been instrumental in the success of this team.
My parents. My dad's the one who got me into softball, and my mom's been there pushing me through. My parents. And it's probably like the basic answer, but my mom started me, and my dad's pretty much made me the hitter that I am today, and my mom's just been my biggest cheerleader since I was 7.
My parents, and definitely like the haters. The haters push me to keep working, but my parents, because they taught me that it's a game. Go out there and have fun. Don't let it define who you are as a person. Just go out there and have fun, because in the end, it doesn't define who you are.
Jalen and Casey, for sure. We've been together since the beginning. Even before high school, we played on softball teams together. It's going to be different splitting up, and just the fact that it's fun playing high school and it's not stressful.
Definitely the people I play with. Coach Slack, she's taught me a lot of stuff. I mean, she's seen me at my worst, she's seen me at my best, and I've just been with her for 4 years, and so it's hard to remember that. All the memories we've made, the friendships, and like the family. These girls this year, mainly the girls and the friends that I've made. It's just going to be really difficult for me to leave this. experience, being how the family I have today with them. It's going to be really hard for me because Mick, my best friend, the center fielder that you just talked to, I was really shy, and then I met Mick, and I don't know, it's just been really hard leaving them and her. Winning state, it was crazy because I have a little story. The 7th inning, I asked Bailey Chandler, which was our shortstop. My favorite thing was when I asked her, I said, "Hey, how many outs do we have?" And we had 2 at the time. And then Casey struck out the batter, and I was like, "Do we hit? Like, what's going on?" She was like, "We just won!" And I was like, "What? The ball game is over?" She was like, "Yeah," and that was just my favorite thing. That's just very memorable for me. I tell everyone about that because, I'm in the infield, and we have 2 outs, and I had no idea how many outs there were, and I'm just playing. Because I didn't even know. Honestly, after our 5th round, since we were just being freshmen, we were just playing softball. It was our 5th round, and I asked my dad for the game, "Oh, where's our next round at?" He was like, "You're going to state." And I was like, "Oh, wow, this is it?" So those are my favorite memories of softball.
Winning the state championship, it was pretty crazy, honestly. Wouldn't expect that as freshmen to come and win the state championship, but it was definitely rewarding.
Definitely winning the state tournament freshman year. I remember going into it, and then I'm like, this doesn't seem real. I remember everybody asking me, does it feel real? I'm like, no, not really. They're like, we're making history. And I'm just like, it's just another game to us. And then I remember winning state, and I was like, when's our next game? When are we playing again? And then, it's over. And I'm just like, wow. And so, just going to state and winning with my team, making history. I have a funny story about my mom. My mom's always been one of my biggest supporters. She's always there no matter what. Me and my dad had flown to Florida to play a softball tournament. My mom couldn't go because she was watching my brother do something. And me and my dad had flown from Florida to go to Colorado to play another tournament. And my mom drove 18 hours by herself with my dog to come up there just to watch me. And I was like, "You're crazy, man." And she's like, "I wouldn't miss it for the world." And that just goes to show how much she supports me. She goes above and beyond.
On the Panthers Spotlight, Ross Norwood, Liberty Panthers Sports Network.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panthers Sports Network. I'm Joe Roberts. Alongside me is my broadcast partner, play-by-play man Ross Norwood. And in the producer's seat this afternoon is Richard Ewing. As always, we're here at Lady Rattler Field in Navasota, Texas for round number 5, the Elite 8. Round number 5 of the softball playoffs, your Liberty Lady Panthers battling the Lake Belton Lady Broncos for the regional championship. And we just had the opportunity to hear from the trio of seniors that have been instrumental all season long in getting the Lady Panthers to this spot right here. All 3 of those seniors played on the state championship team as a freshman. All 3 of them were key instruments in winning that first ever team sports state championship for the Panthers. Ross?
Thank you very much to the ladies who sat down with us, and they were very candid, and it was a great opportunity, really, Joe, for people to see that so much goes into this other than taking the field, whether it's the practice, whether it's the mental preparation, or the sacrifice in time and money to play this sport. And it's good to see those 3 seniors are going to continue their softball career after this season is over.
Yeah, all 3 of them heading on to play collegiate ball. Michaela Birkland heading to Nacogdoches, Texas to play for the Lady Jacks. Jalen Pritchard heading to Eastern Illinois to play for the Lady Panthers there. And Casey West headed up the road to Waco, Texas, and she's going to be taking her talents to the Baylor Lady Bears. And all 3 of them talked about not only the sacrifice and time and effort, but how much that their parents poured into them, whether it was making these long road trips, giving up family vacations or doing these other things to ensure that these young ladies got to do the things that they love. And if you've watched any amount of softball this year or the last 4 years as they've been playing, you can tell that these three young ladies, as well as the rest of the Lady Panthers, just love the game. And it translates to something so beautiful and so powerful. And we're going to get a chance to continue to watch while we're here. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to watch through this medium anyway.
Yeah, the UIL has sold the rights to all postseason games, and the rights holder is Texan Live for streaming games, and so they will bring you a video of this, but we're going to bring you the audio, and we're going to try to paint the best picture we can of what's going on in the field. Is this contest not far away, Joe?
Yeah, about 35 minutes from game time. And since it's just about on the half hour, we're going to go ahead and jump into the supposed, or the presumed rather, starting lineup. Barring any sort of injury that occurs in the last couple of minutes, this is going to be your Lady Panther defensive starting lineup, and we're going to kick it to our little video.
Defensively for the Lady Panthers today, left fielder junior Macy Bean. Center fielder, senior Michaela Birkland. Right field, freshman Bailey Slack. On the infield for the Lady Panthers, at third base, senior Jalen Pritchard. Shortstop is sophomore Reese Evans. At second, junior Kylie Bishop. First baseman is junior Reagan Williamson. The catcher is freshman Holly Thomas. And in the circle, senior Casey West. On the bench for the Lady Panthers, freshman Camden Chandler, sophomore Alex Wiley, and freshman Ashlyn Cordova.
All right, Ross, we've seen the presumed starting defensive lineup. Talk about the offensive portion for the Lady Panthers.
Well, the Lady Panthers, the home team today, Joe, and leading off for the Lady Panthers is senior Jalen Pritchard at third base. Macy Beam is batting second, playing in left field.
You had it, left field.
Left field. I don't
know
know.
She's been a rock star
all year long.
That's right. Hey, we got the beach ball here. We got the beach ball. We're live with the beach ball.
Got a beach ball flying around. A great atmosphere before this game at this great facility in Navasota. Batting third and pitching for the Lady Panthers is Casey West. Michaela Birkland is hitting in the cleanup spot and playing center field. Batting fifth for the Lady Panthers is catcher Holly Thomas. Batting sixth for the Lady Panthers, Kylie Bishop at second base. Seventh in the order, Camden Chandler. She's scheduled as the shortstop, but Reese Evans will be at short, the designated player. Reese Evans bats eighth. I'll come up with it here in a minute. She's the designated player and is playing at shortstop, and hitting in the 9 spot is Bailey Slack in right field. Again, for the Lady Panthers, the top three, Jalen Pritchard, Macy Beam, and Casey West. The middle three, Michaela Birkland, Holly Thomas, and Kylie Bishop. And the bottom three, Camden Chandler, Reese Evans, and Bailey Slack. Reagan Williamson is the flex player, and she will be at first base.
Liberty Panthers Sports Network. I'm Joe Roberts alongside Ross Norwood, who's going to be doing play-by-play, producer Richard Ewing. We're here at Lady Radler Field in Navasota, Texas for round number 5, the Elite 8. There are only 8 teams left in the entire state of Texas battling for the 4A championship, and the Lady Panthers are one of those 8. We're beginning round number 5, game 1, in about half an hour. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about stats and keys for the Lady Panthers.
Hitting is timing. Pitching is upsetting timing. Every pitcher has an arsenal of pitches, and the most popular is the fastball. Just like in real estate, location is the key. Will she go outside to get the batter to chase? Or will she go inside to brush the batter back and send the message, "This is my plate"? Now the pitcher turns magician. An upward trajectory with some backspin produces the rise ball. It looks like it's going down Main Street, but instead climbs a ladder and will make a batter look foolish. Now that the batter thinks she has a bead on the heat, a good pitcher will pour some ice on her next pitch, the changeup. It looks like a fastball coming out of the pitcher's hand, but it's 10 to 15 miles per hour slower and causes the hitter to swing too early. To complicate matters even further for a hitter, the twins, the curveball and the screwball. They both fall off the table. The only question is, which way will they fall? It isn't all doom and gloom for the batter. If the pitcher doesn't hit her location or get the right spin, all bets are off, and the ball just might leave the yard.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panthers Sports Network. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood, Professor Richard Ewing doing all the producing stuff for us. We're here again in Navasota, Texas at Lady Rattler Field as your Liberty Lady Panthers taking on the Lake Belton Lady Broncos in the Regional Championship Series. Game number 1, it's set to start in just about half an hour, and both teams have been on the field for about 35 or 40 minutes getting warmed up, going through their entire routine. We just had a little, I'm not going to call it an infomercial, a little PSA about the different types of things that a batter could possibly see when they're in the batter's box, Ross. A cadre, a variety of pitches, and that's one of the things that makes softball so interesting. They're really close to the batter. It's doing a whole bunch of oopsie oops, and there's all kind of action, Ross.
Yes, we'll use a 70-mile-an-hour fastball as a comparison to a 100-mile-an-hour major league fastball. A 70-mile-an-hour softball gets to the plate in 0.35 seconds, and that is how much time the batter has to make the decision on whether to swing or not. In baseball, a 100-mile-an-hour fastball gets to the plate in 0.38 seconds. Less time to make a decision with the softball. Of course, they're throwing from a closer distance, but when we're talking about just decision-making time, 0.35 seconds for softball, 0.38 seconds for a 100-mile-an-hour major league fastball.
All right, Ross, we've talked about the Lady Panthers, what they bring to the table defensively. You've mentioned their batting order. Now let's talk some stats. The Lady Panthers have been on fire, especially since the playoffs have started. They've played 4 rounds, 2 games each, and they have scored a boatload of runs.
They have scored a boatload of runs, Joe, and I want to segue from what we were talking about in pitching and go into some stats of our senior pitcher who will be in the circle today and has been for most of the year. Casey West has got a 28-4 record with a .64 ERA and 162 innings pitched, Joe.
I can hardly wrap my head around that.
She's given up 46 hits, 23 runs, and of the 23, only 15 of those were earned. She's walked 70 and fanned 292.
Wow, just say that last one more time.
292 strikeouts, and it's important to note that's not in her 4-year career.
No,
that is this year.
That's just this year. Casey West, phenomenal pitcher. She's close to 900 strikeouts on the year, and a big chunk of them this year.
Not far from 300 strikeouts on the year, 900 in her career.
And that's including last year when they didn't play any district games.
Correct. They were, COVID-19 took the district season from them last year. I want to throw out a few more pitching numbers here, Joe, that are just absolutely ridiculous. Opponents' batting average against Casey West this year, .088.
All right, now say that one more time.
Opponents' batting average against Casey West this year, .088. That's not good.
That's not good for the batter. No,
good,
it
good
is
for,
not.
Good for her.
And it's good for the Lady Panther defense. And even if they do get a hit, the defense behind Casey West has played lights out. Moving around the horn, Pritchard, Evans, Bishop, Williamson, they have been a proverbial black hole at each one of their spots, and that's not to say anything about the outfielders. When the ball gets to the outfield, it gets back in quickly.
And great heads-up plays from those outfielders. We saw it when we were here 2 weeks ago playing Sealy, when Bailey Slack caught a ball in right field.
Right field, out of bounds right field.
Yeah, in foul territory. Got the ball in to Jalen Pritchard at third for the out. And then Pritchard joined in, throwing the ball over to second base, and Bishop, between Bishop, Evans, and Reagan Williamson, ended the inning.
Yeah, that was a game-changing double play that really turned that series on the head. I mean, it wasn't super close, but it was a lot closer than it should have been. As soon as that double play ball happened, that turned the series on its head, and it was back-breaking game overtime. And we've forgotten, no, we didn't forget, we just haven't mentioned yet, the freshman phenom, the backstop, Holly Thomas, who has led many a charge, throwing down to first, throwing down to second. She's picked a lot of people off, and she has just been a calming influence for anyone that's been in the center circle for the Lady Panthers.
Holly's bat has also been pretty hot, a .410 average, .450 on base percentage, and a .607 slugging percentage with 11 doubles, 4 home runs. She's driven in 36 and scored 26.
All right, Ross, once again, Liberty Panthers Sports Network, Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood, producer Richard Ewing. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the Lake Belton Lady Broncos.
Established in 2007, the Liberty ISD Education Foundation is an independent, nonprofit 501c3 organization whose mission is to enhance the educational experiences of Liberty Public Schools by fostering community support above and beyond what is provided by the district's normal operating budget. The board of directors consists of residents, retired educators, and business people whose commitment to public education in Liberty is strong and in the best interest of every child in the school system. The mission of the Liberty ISD Education Foundation is to help Liberty ISD enrich, maintain, and expand programs needed to ensure that each student reaches his or her full potential. The Liberty ISD Education Foundation believes that investing in our students today will return excellent leadership tomorrow.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panthers Sports Network, Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood, producer Richard Ewing. Again, we're here in Navasota, Texas at Lady Rattler Field. Your Liberty Lady Panthers in the regional championship game. This is game one of the best-of-3 series against the Lake Belton Lady Broncos. Before we jump into the Lady Bronco squad, I want to take a second and throw some appreciation toward our LISD Education Foundation, Board President Brandon Davis, and the rest of the crew, which you're a part of, Ross Norwood, doing fabulous, phenomenal work. In fact, I am a recipient of one of the grants from a couple of years ago. They were able to help me get some cameras, and now here we are about almost 5 years later, and it's taken me that long, but we're getting this AV Tech program underway in large part because the Education Foundation able to help us out.
And I believe our producer Richard Ewing was the recipient of one of this year's.
Absolutely, yeah. He got one this year to help start the after-school robotics program, and that's going to be kicking up in full force this next school year. He and Coach Lacefield, Jerry Lacefield at the high school, and they're going to be offering that for next school year. Again, big thank you to the Education Foundation. You guys worked super hard.
And we can help the Education Foundation. If you have some time or extra resources, you can volunteer or you can donate to the Liberty Education Foundation. Our director is Bruce Wright. Of course, you said Brandon Davis, the president.
The president,
Shannon,
right.
Shannon.
We got Mr. Gittery here. He's so good about bringing us candy. He's doing a great job. We'll take these things. Thank you, Mr. Guidry. Again, going back to the Education Foundation, again, board president Brandon Davis, and then Bruce Wright, so instrumental, helping to get the Freedom Ride going, which is a big fundraiser. And then the Diamond, is it the Diamond Gala? Is that what it's called?
Well, there'll be a gala in April of next year.
Okay.
And you'll be able to buy tickets, and we'll have that information for you as we get closer to that. But the Liberty Education Foundation doing what they can to better the education of LISD students.
All right, Ross, Liberty Panthers Sports Network. Let's talk Lake Belton Lady Broncos, bringing them around the horn for us.
Defensively for the Lady Broncos, it is, well, let me do this way.
Yeah, do it that way.
Do it that way so I can have the first names. Autumn Holman is the center fielder. Haley Hoffman is in left field. The right fielder is Madison Lux. Third baseman is Angie DeLeon. Shortstop is Casey Schultz. Second baseman, Zakara Frederick. First baseman is Hannah Jensen. And the pitcher for the Lady Broncos from Lake Belton is Shelby Schultz.
So you did that. With I don't know. You didn't have marbles in your mouth. I appreciate that. Did you get the catcher?
And catching.
See, I knew you were gonna. The catcher has a very unique name, and we've been trying to figure out how to say her name. Both of us can't agree on it, and I was wondering if Ross was going to attempt that. Go ahead, Ross. I'm gonna give that to you.
Well, and we'll spell it here. I wouldn't ordinarily do this, but going to spell it SHIMABUKURO.
I was going to say Shimabukuro, but once the stadium announcer says the name, we'll go with whatever the stadium announcer is going to give to us. And again, we are only going to be able to be live video that you can see right now for probably 10 more minutes or so, and then it's going to go to audio only with graphics on the screen. You'll still be able to keep up with the game. We'll have the live scoreboard. We'll have player graphics pop up, so you'll know exactly who's up to bat for the Lady Panthers, and we'll continue to do that. Right now, Coach Slack and the coach for Lake Belton at the home plate, they're meeting with the umpires. We're going to have a 3-man crew today. We had a 4-man crew on one game of a series.
That was the last series. Not last series.
The series before last.
Last series in Navasota.
Yeah, Navasota, that's right.
Joe, we talked a little bit about Holly Thomas's offensive numbers, but you look at the top of the order, and you look at who leads it off for the Lady Panthers, Jalen Pritchard. 508 batting average, a 545 on base percentage, and slugging 792.
Can I insert something about Jalen? When we were taking down the gear in Hudson last week, the Carthage coach came over, and hopefully Coach McFall is listening right now. He's a good guy. He came over and asked about Jalen, and that home run that she hit, she was trying to slap the ball, and she slapped it out of the yard. That's how much power she has from the leadoff spot.
Yeah, 4 home runs from the leadoff spot this year. She's driven in 46 and scored 49. The leader in home runs for the Lady Panthers is pitcher Casey West. She has 10 home runs and 56 runs driven in with 17 runs scored.
Well, Ross, it looks like we're getting really close to game time now. We're about 15 minutes away, and right now both the teams are being introduced. Again, we're going to have to go dark here in just a moment or so. I want to take one more opportunity to thank everyone that has followed us on this journey with the Lady Panthers and that has stayed with us while we've been live streaming. Without your support, could not be possible. We've had a bunch of you that have been with us the entire way. We've had 700, 800 views per game, so that translates to a lot of people that are getting some information, and it's our pleasure to go on the road and do this for you guys. This is for the fans, and we love you very, very much, and we're looking forward to continuing to do this as long as we possibly can. Liberty Panthers Sports Network, Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood on play-by-play. play-by-play producer Richard Ewing. And as we're getting ready to start Game 1 of the regional championship here in Navasota, one more time, your Liberty Lady Panthers coming here via 4 straight series sweeps, district champions of 21 4A, all the way up to this championship series. Real quick, final thoughts before we go dark, Ross.
Patience for the Lady Panthers. They're going to be facing a left-handed pitcher in Shelby Schultz. They have not seen a lot of left-handed pitchers this year. It's not something you see very often. They're going to have to be patient because it's going to be a different look.
All right, and we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will not have a live video feed. We will be audio only when we come back, but stay with us because we're still going to have on-screen graphics. We're still going to have the on-screen scoreboard, so there's still going to be something to see. It just won't be the game. You'll have to listen to that and follow along with us. Once again, we'll be right back.
We are excited to honor the class of 2021. There are no restrictions on the number of guests that can attend, but please be mindful and practice social distancing. If you cannot attend, please join us on the LHS-AV live stream link found on the Liberty High School website. Let's celebrate these graduates and go Panthers!
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panthers Sports Network, Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood on play-by-play producer Richard Ewing, Navasota, Texas, Lady Rattler Field, and it is time for the Elite 8, Ross. 8 teams left standing here in the state of Texas, all battling it out for the chance to become the champions of the state. And we're going to stay here, but they're about to play the national anthem. I'm going to shut my mouth and listen to the anthem. And just like that, the iconicness of the national anthem before a ball game is endearing to me. I remember being in the Marine Corps and how much I felt when that song played, and I still do, Ross. I get the feels whenever I hear the national anthem. All right, Ross, Lady Panthers, the home team today, and they are getting ready defensively to start off the top of this first inning. Senior Casey West in the circle, as always. Ross, something a little different from the last time we were here. The wind is pushing out. It was pushing in last time we were here, and that could cause some fireworks. 200 all the way around the fence.
200 all the way around the fence, and the wind going out, Joe. Last time, I can't remember how many balls the Lady Panthers were able to hit off the wall that, had the wind been going a little differently, would have been out of the ballpark.
I know Senior Casey West, she had one that ripped the wall. Had it been about 3 or 4 feet higher, would have been over. We've got some power bats in this lineup, Ross. Casey West among the several. Michaela Berkland, the center fielder, who's taking her talents to Stephen F. Austin. She's another power bat. The leadoff hitter, Jalen Pritchard, can really stroke the ball. And a ton of Lady Panthers that have long ball power but also have that short game, able to lay down the bunt and use their speed. Macy Beam, one of the best in the business for the Lady Panthers in doing that.
Just about ready to get underway as the throw from Molly Thomas down to the second baseman is back to Casey West. Casey will in the circle, Lady Panthers wearing their white pinstripe uniform with black letters, gold etching around the letters. And the first pitch from Casey West is low in the dirt. For a ball to Autumn Holman. Autumn, the center fielder for the Lake Belton Lady Broncos. Jalen Pritchard is pinched in at third. Reagan Williamson, as this pitch misses low and a little outside. Reagan Williamson playing even with the bag. Jalen Pritchard is in front of the bag a good ways. Squaring around to bunt is Autumn Holman. And there is a strike to Holman, who pulled the bunt back, but the pitch was in for a strike, just above the knees.
West really popped the glove there. One of the things we need to look for is that sun coming right into the right fielder and the first base side.
On the 2-2 pitch. Actually, it was the 2-1 pitch. Now 2-2's the count. Just underway in Navasota. No score, top of the first inning. Swing and a miss and a strikeout for Casey West.
And just like she's been doing all year long, Ross, she came back, battled back. Whenever she gets behind, that's not a time to start relaxing. That's a time when she really digs down and goes after hitters.
Shelby Schultz, the pitcher for Lake Belton, left-handed hitter, does not wear batting gloves in her gray uniform with red lettering on the front and back. Takes a strike on the outside corner. One away in the top of the first inning. No score in Navasota, Lake Belton and Liberty. Schultz swings and misses. No balls and 2 strikes. Beautiful sun-drenched day in Navasota as this pitch is low and outside. A ball and 2 strikes. Great crowd for both teams. And Schultz swings at the pitch, comes up empty, and that is the second out of the top of the first inning as the ball makes its way around the horn and back to Casey West in the circle. 2 away in the top of the first inning.
One of the things that I love to see is Holly Thomas. On both those strikeouts, she's jumped for joy. She's so fun to watch.
Casey Schultz, the shortstop, a right-handed batter for Lake Belton. Looks at ball 1 away, about the knees, but outside. Schultz, wearing 2 batting gloves, stands in front of the batter's box, in the front part of the batter's box as she gets ready for the 1-0 pitch. She swings from West and comes up empty. Evens the count at a ball and a strike with 2 away in the top of the first inning. No score in Navasota, Lake Belton and Liberty. Swing and a miss at a drop ball from Casey West.
You know, one of the things that we did not mention earlier, Lake Belton is just a freshman sophomore campus right now, slated to probably be a 6A in the next realignment.
Swing and a miss, and Casey Schultz set down. Casey West strikes out the side in the top of the first. We're in the middle of the first. No score on the Liberty Panthers Sports Network.
Coming to you this summer, the Liberty Athletics Department will host multiple sports camps focusing on skill development, as well as a summer-long power camp that will focus on general strength and conditioning. For more information, contact Athletic Director Chad Taylor, RC Taylor at libertyisd.net, or Karen Slack, KE Slack at libertyisd.net. Bigger, stronger, faster, better. Go Panthers!
Welcome back to Navasota. Liberty and Lake Belton playing in the regional finals. This is game 1 of the best of 3 series to decide which team goes next week to Austin to play for the state title. 1-2-3 inning for Casey West in the top half of the first. She struck out all 3 batters. Mentioned it earlier, Shelby Schultz, the pitcher for Lake Belton, a lefty. Not something you see very often. As she gets her final warm-up tosses in, Jalen Pritchard will be leading it off for the Lady Panthers, followed by Macy Beam and Casey West. In the bottom of the first inning, no score. Beautiful day in Navasota, little on the warm side. Wind blowing straight out as the American flag is directly in center field in Navasota.
Number 2, Jalen Pritchard.
Jalen Pritchard, the senior, 508 on the season. She has 4 home runs and 46 runs driven in from the leadoff spot, where she has her at-bats this season. The infield for the Lady Broncos, the third baseman playing in, the first baseman even with the bag, and the first pitch from Shelby Schultz is off the top of the glove of the catcher for a ball. Defensively for the Lady Broncos, it's Hoffman in left field, Holman in center, and Lux in right field, as the 1-0 pitch again misses high and comes off the glove of the catcher for Lake Belton. On the infield for Lake Belton, it's DeLeon, Schultz, Frederick at second, Jensen at first, and the 2-0 pitch is tight inside as Jalen Pritchard moves out of the way, and it's 3 balls and no strikes, nobody out. Jalen Pritchard, the first batter for the Lady Panthers in the regional finals in Navasota. Schultz delivers the pitch for a strike at about belt high. 3 balls and a strike. Schultz, the left-handed pitcher for Lake Belton, looks at her wristband, comes set and delivers the pitch. A bouncer right to the shortstop, who fields the slow bouncer, throws on to first, and it's not in time. And Jalen Pritchard reaches safely, says the first base umpire, and the coach for Lake Belton is coming out to talk to the first base umpire.
Yeah, he's going to step out there. That was close. It looked like the shortstop gunned her, and he may be appealing down to the home plate umpire. They're going to conference this one. Ross, that was close.
If the call stands, it'll be an infield single for Jalen Pritchard. The 3 umpires meeting between second and first base, just behind the pitching circle, or to the side of the pitching circle, as they talk about that play. And safe is going to remain the call, an infield single for Jalen Pritchard. That ball, a slow roller to the shortstop Schultz, right to her, did not have to move.
Yeah, Ross, it's tough to overturn a call because you set a precedent if you start overturning people's call, and that worked out for us this time, but that may not have worked out for us if you start getting that going. So I'm actually glad that he did not overturn that call.
Junior Macy Beam, the left fielder for Liberty, stands in, left-handed batter, calls time.
Yeah, Macy Beam has been so phenomenal. She's the only one that I've ever seen that has bunted a double, like a legit double.
Did that against Sealy 2 weeks ago. A bunt as Jalen Pritchard takes off for second, fielded by Schultz as it comes right back to her, who throws on to first for the first out. Jalen Pritchard going into second base.
Importantly, she moved Jalen into scoring position, and that's what the Lady Panthers need to get on the board first, get it going, take advantage of the freshman and sophomore-ness of the Lady Broncos of Lake Belton.
Casey West, the batter. West resting the bat on her shoulder as Schultz looks at her wristband for the pitch. First pitch to Casey West is in for a strike, catching that inside corner.
This is a different look for the Lady Panthers. This is the first lefty that we've seen while we've been calling these games. It's going to take them maybe a second to get her timing. It's going to come out just a little differently.
Jalen Pritchard is at second base as this ball from Schultz is low in the dirt. The catcher doing a good job of going down and stopping that ball to prevent Pritchard from advancing to third.
This is another tall infield, Ross.
DeLeon at third, playing just in front of the bag as the pitch is sent foul and out of play by Casey West. And the count will be a ball and 2 strikes with 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. No score. Liberty has Jalen Pritchard at second, an infield single and a sacrifice bunt has her there. On deck, Michaela Birkland, and batting right now, Casey West. Schultz goes to the rosin bag, just behind the pitching rubber. And that pitch is high, in and out of the glove of the catcher.
Yeah, Casey West doing a really good job of staying off that. That was high and outside a little bit. It's a death knell pitch for some batters.
Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jalen Pritchard is at second. The 2-2 pitch misses high.
And I almost jinxed myself. Came back upstairs again, and Casey, she had a real good look at it and decided not to take a cut.
Rise ball is getting far out of the strike zone for Schultz in this bottom of the first inning. A full count to Casey West. 1 away. The payoff pitch. West sends high and deep off the wall in right center field. The right fielder plays it off the carom, coming around third to score without a throw is Jalen Pritchard, and Casey West into second place.
Ross, I'm not sure what the right fielder was doing there. She took her time trying to attack that ball coming off the wall, and Jalen Pritchard made her pay for it. She had to stay at second to tag up, and as soon as she saw that hit, she took off, and I think she was thinking she was only going to get 1 base, and she saw the right fielder walking and then just scored. That's something that you can't do.
Lady Panthers, number 11, Ashlyn Cordova.
Ashlyn Cordova is going to be the courtesy runner for Casey West at second.
Now batting the center fielder.
1-0 Liberty, bottom of the first inning, 1 away. An infield single by Jalen Pritchard to lead off the inning. And an RBI double to get Pritchard in. Accounts for the 1 Liberty run. Michaela Birkland. Another dent in the wall by Pink Floyd. The theme song in this one early. Thank you, Richard Ewing, our producer, as the first pitch to Michaela Birkland rolls in for a ball.
His pun game is powerful, Ross. It is powerful.
With 1 away, Holly Thomas is on deck. Birkland getting ready for the 1-0 pitch. She starts to swing, holds up as the ball goes in and out of the glove of the catcher.
Well, right now this catcher, she's got me a little concerned. She's a little loosey-goosey in the glove here. And again, this can be chalked up to the fact that Lake Belton is full of freshmen and sophomores, and this is going to be something that the Lady Panthers are going to have to exploit and take advantage of.
2 balls and no strikes to the senior center fielder, Birkland. And the 2-0 pitch misses high, bringing the catcher out of her crouch and taking her down the third baseline with the momentum. Holly Thomas on deck. 1 away, bottom of the first inning. 1-0 Liberty. The 3-0 pitch misses high, and Michaela Birkland has walked. The first walk of the inning for Schultz.
So far, Shelby Schultz, the left-handed pitcher, not really getting into the rhythm that I'm sure she wants to get into, and the Lady Panthers being really patient. Holly Thomas has been a dangerous bat all year long, particularly during district play in this playoff run.
Thomas with 4 home runs and 36 runs batted in this year. She looks for the first pitch from Schultz, hits it off the handle of the bat and into the screen, just over the on-deck circle on the first base side, where Lake Belton is camped out.
Well, she was going for Anderson Shiro. That's what she was aiming for. She took a big league cut there.
That pitch getting in on the handle to Holly Thomas, who stands right on the plate. at the front of the batter's box. Shelby Schultz consults her wristband, taking a little bit too long for Holly Thomas. She steps out. She's back into the box. And Thomas sends another ball foul into the screen.
She is
Again,
really,
getting in on her.
yeah, she's really dipping her back shoulder and just taking a huge cut. She may benefit from just backing off a little bit. Schultz is not really throwing a high-speed ball in there.
Ashlyn Cordova is at second. Michaela Birkeland walks. She's at first. 1 run in the bottom of the first inning. And Schultz gets a swing and a miss. And they've got Ashlyn Cordova hung up in a rundown between third and short. She is going to be tagged out. But
yeah, that should be
that
three.
would be at 3 outs. That would be a
should
double
be 3
play.
outs.
As
That's 3. I don't know. That was. Yeah, that's going to be 3 outs, Ross.
Well, exciting bottom of the first inning. Liberty takes a 1-0 lead. We'll be back for the second on the Liberty Panthers Sports Network.
Coming to you this summer, the Liberty Athletics Department will host multiple sports camps focusing on skill development, as well as a summer-long power camp that will focus on general strength and conditioning. For more information, contact Athletic Director Chad Taylor, RC Taylor at libertyisd.net, or Karen Slack, KE Slack at libertyisd.net. Bigger, stronger, faster, better. Go Panthers!
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panthers Sports Network. I'm Joe Roberts alongside play-by-play man Ross Norwood with producer Richard Ewing manning all the technical stuff. We're here in Navasota, Texas. Game 1 of the best-of-3 series in the regional championship round. Your Liberty Lady Panthers with a 1-0 lead heading into the top of the second inning, scoring with the RBI double from senior Casey West, scoring fellow senior Jalen Pritchard. And strikeout and a base running error led to an awkward double play to end the bottom of the first, Ross.
Some confusion there as the umpires were not yet ready to call for the third out. Both the head coach for Lake Belton and the first base coach and assistant coach Joe Slack were signaling that was 3 outs.
Top of the second for the Lady Broncos. The right fielder, number 12.
Madison Lux will lead it off for the Lady Broncos. It'll be Lux, Herrera, and DeLeon due up for the Lady Broncos. They went down 1-2-3 in the top of the first inning. And the first pitch is high and outside, just above the belt, to the left-handed batter.
And Lady Panthers want to cut down on those sorts of errors.
There is a strike from Casey West on the outside corner, just above the knees.
If this umpire is going to give her that outside pitch, it's going to be a long batting day for the Lady Broncos.
1-1 pitch is a strike on the outside corner, almost a mirror image, getting just above the knees and catching a little bit of that outside corner.
And when Casey really gets into a groove, it is so hard to even get a bat on a ball.
Top of the second inning, 1-0 Liberty. A ball and 2 strikes to the right fielder, Madison Lux. The 1-2 pitch misses outside. Casey to see if she could get a swing.
She does such a good job of varying her pitch speeds and pitch locations.
The 2-2 pitch missing low and almost in the right-handed batter box.
It's going to be interesting to see what she's able to do against these youthful hitters with her senior experience.
Lux foul tips this pitch into the glove of Holly Thomas, who throws it around the horn in the first out. 4 strikeout for Casey West today.
Haygood from Huffman had a field day against Lake Belton in their 3-game series. She recorded a whole bunch of multi-game strikeouts against the Lake Belton Lady Broncos.
With 1 away in the top of the second inning, Elena Herrera, the designated player, looks at strike 1.
You know, that just tells me that the youth and inexperience of the Lady Broncos is going to be beneficial for the Lady Panther defense.
Right-handed batter. Looks at a pitch that slides just off the outside corner. And Holly Thomas trying to frame that pitch for the home plate umpire.
Yeah, she almost pulled. He thought about it.
Herrera stands at the front of the batter's box. This pitch is inside, moves Herrera away. 2 balls and a strike.
So really good electric feeling in the crowd. Big crowd today, Ross.
The 2-1 pitch is called a strike. This one hits the outside corner, just above the knees.
So she is not afraid to come back and find the spot that she wants.
Herrera not giving up any of the plate as the 2-2 pitch misses below the knees. And the payoff pitch will be upcoming with 1 away in the top of the 2nd inning in Navasota, Lake Belton, and Liberty. West with the 3-2 pitch. It is bounced high, and it's going to roll foul as both West, Pritchard, and Thomas converged on that ball, but it went foul before
I almost thought that hit off the plate. I thought he was going to call that a foul right away. Of course, we have the benefit of some height where we're at right now.
They'll do the 3-2 pitch again as Casey West sets to deliver. And this pitch misses inside and low. And a walk. The first walk for Casey West today. The first base runner
now batting
for Lake Belton.
Baseman, number 15.
You know, she reminds me a lot of Nolan Ryan. You know, he walked a lot of people, but, man, he struck out a lot. Not afraid to battle. Not afraid to get in there and find the edge, find down Main Street.
Angie DeLeon, the third baseman, swings and misses at the first pitch. DeLeon wearing bright red batting gloves. High red socks.
Evans and Bishop at double play depth now.
Has her right foot on the back of the batter's box. This ball sharply hit to Bishop, who tosses to Reese Evans in time for the out.
Boy, that almost got out of hand there. Kylie Bishop, clean field and just a little too quick with her backhanded toss. Luckily, Evans was right there to make a pretty athletic play. The umpire was getting ready to call her safe, but Evans just swipe tagged her right there at the bag.
Lake Belton coach is asking for a conference of the umpires after that. He has his runner staying on second base. This is to be the second conference in this young game. Liberty leads 1-0. There's 1 out in the top of the first inning. Lake Belton either has a runner aboard and 2 outs, or 2 runners, and they are going to change the
overturn
ball.
that. Wow.
And so Lake Belton now with runners at first and second.
And now Coach Slack is going to head onto the field. She's going to have something to say about that. Now that one wasn't as close as the play at first base in the previous inning. I thought Reese had her clean on the out.
David Nolan, if you are in attendance, please come to the press box.
So now 1 out, runners at first and second for Lake Belton.
Again, David Nolan, if you are in attendance.
Zakira Frederick, the second baseman, and we're going to have another conference.
I don't know that they're going to overturn the overturn. They've already talked about this one. I think Coach Slack just wanted to get out there and have her her voice be heard. She is not happy at all. She wanted a confirmation of whatever the umpire said in that conference.
She's now talking to the home plate umpire. Shaking her head yes.
Whatever he told her, I guess she's getting on board with.
The Lady Broncos, the second baseman, number 8,
Zakira Frederick, the second baseman, comes to the plate with 2 runners on and 1 out as Casey West has to settle in. Jalen Pritchard at third is playing in front of the bag. Reagan Williamson set to charge as the first pitch to Frederick catches the outside corner.
This is one of those examples. Got to limit the mistakes, Ross.
The 0-1 pitch bounced, slow looping ball, fielded by Evans at short. Underhand toss to Bishop, gets the out at second. Throw on to first by Bishop is not in time. 2 away in the top of the second inning with runners at first and third.
It was a nice chopper by the second baseman, and on this turf, it's just going to take high bounces, and if you can get it to bounce and you have any sort of speed, you're going to be able to get somewhere.
So back-to-back fielder's choices. This pitch misses. The runner is going, and the play at home not in time as the runner from third base. A close play, but she may have gotten in just below the slide, says the home plate umpire. They had Sakara hung up between first and second.
That was tricky right there. That was close.
Tie game, 1-1, top of the second inning, 2 away. Runners, Frederick is at second. And a strike to the batter, Haley Hoffman. Count even at 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 away in the top of the second inning. Tie ball game, 1-1. Liberty scoring 1 in the bottom of the first.
Oh, I saw that one.
This pitch is popped up. Holly Thomas comes from in front of the plate and makes the catch. That'll do it. The Lady Broncos pick up a run on a close play at the plate. We head to the middle of the second inning, 1-1.
On Thursday, May 27th, the LHS Panther players, under the direction of junior Kennedy Mumfree, present Horton Foote's The Midnight Caller. Set in a boarding house on the coast of Texas, love and redemption sweep a young lady off her feet in this will she or won't she comedy. Joining the Panther players are special guests, LMS award winners Leighton Shellhammer and Kelsey Gillard. Tickets are $5 at the door.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panther Sports Network, Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood on play-by-play, producer Richard Ewing. Moving into the bottom of the second, and Lake Belton able to pull one back in the top of the second. Currently sits 1-1 after an inning and a half, and the Lady Panthers kind of uncharacteristically sloppy defensively in the top part of that inning. Had a mistake over there at the 2-bag, and then with 2 outs, and a runner on third trying to get the out on a steal at second, and then ended up giving up a run on the return throw from second to the catcher. A little bit of a head scratcher for me, Ross.
Well, a good base running job by Frederick, the second baseman, going from first to second, who about halfway slowed down to draw the throw. And as soon as the throw left Holly Thomas's hand, the runner at third was able to come in and score, but it was a close play.
Yeah, very
Reese
close.
Evans got the ball in. Kylie Bishop will lead it off for the Lady Panthers. Bishop, a right-handed batter, holds that bat with 1 batting glove. And the first pitch from Schultz is high for a ball.
The Lady Panthers going to get zeroed back in and get going offensively again.
1-1, bottom of the second inning. And a swing and a miss by Kylie Bishop as this ball goes in and out of the glove of the catcher.
So one of the things that you're going to encounter right now is you don't want to give the opponent any kind of hope. And I think what they've done is they've given them a little bit of hope here. Now we're in the bottom of the order for the Lady Panthers, so they need to get zeroed back in and get going.
The 1-1 pitch misses low, gets away from the catcher. 2 balls and a strike to Kylie Bishop. Bishop been hot of late, getting her average up to 341. And added a couple of more doubles and a few more RBIs. She's at 36 RBIs on the season. The 2-1 pitch is swung on and missed.
Just really got underneath that one, took a big cut at that Bishop did. And her and a couple of the other Lady Panthers doing that look like they're trying to swing for the fences and not swinging for contact.
Bishop back in the box for the 2-2 pitch from Schultz. She winds, throws, and a rise ball swung on and missed by Bishop for the first out of the second inning for Liberty. The second strikeout
Now batting the shortstop, number 4.
for Shelby Schultz.
Chandler.
Camden Chandler, the left-handed batter. 283 on the year, a .330 on-base percentage. She has 7 doubles, 17 runs driven in. Schultz ready to deliver the first pitch to Chandler. A rise ball swung on and missed.
And Chandler, I felt like she really got some positive energy going last week against Carthage. She had been struggling and just had a really great hit that it went off the wall while they were in the middle of that scoring outburst against the Lady Dogs.
Schultz, the 0-1 pitch, sent foul and into the screen. And quickly, no balls and 2 strikes to Camden Chandler. Reese Evans is on deck for the Lady Panthers. Liberty scoring 1 in the first. Lake Belton scoring 1 in the second. We're in the bottom of the second inning. There's 1 away. A rise ball that doesn't quite get up, and it's fouled straight back into the screen.
It's a good job by Camden to stay alive on that. She's definitely in a pitcher's count right now, and she's trying to go to work and stay alive here to keep this inning extended and not allow it to be a short time for that Lady Bronco defense.
Shelby Schultz bringing down the rise ball. She had some issues with it in the bottom of the first inning. And there is a screwball for strike 3 as Camden Chandler comes up empty on the swing.
Yeah, she totally reached for that one. I don't think she had any chance to hit that at all, but it was close enough that she was forced to put a bat out there anyway.
Home plate umpire going down to talk to third base coach and head coach Karen Slack. Not sure what that was about, but he's back behind the plate, and Reese Evans comes in with 2 outs. That's 3 consecutive strikeouts from Schultz.
And coming against the bottom of this order, this is something that the Lady Panthers have got to contribute with. They've got to put the ball in play. They've got to get on base and use their significant speed that they have.
Evans, a left-handed batter, standing in the back of the batter's box, looking at ball 1. A drop ball from Schultz that misses low.
You know, coming into this series, Ross, we knew this was going to be close. Lake Belton and Hargrave went 3 close games, and the Lady Panthers battled Hargrave twice with 2 close games. Knew this was a contest.
.516 on base percentage for Evans, who looks at a rise ball high.
Smart. Everyone's in close for the Lady Bronco defense. They're anticipating something short.
Evans likes to slap the ball, try to get it over an infielder. She has a 2-ball and no strike count with 2 away in the bottom of the second inning, and she does. Little check swing on a pitch coming inside and sends it foul over the Lady Panther dugout on the third base side.
Yeah, Reese and Macy and to some extent Bailey Sleek good at getting in the back of the batter's box and stepping through there and trying to poke one right over the infield as they're creeping up to try to counteract that slap action that those left-handed hitters for the Lady Panthers have.
Bailey Slack is on deck for Liberty. She would hit next if Evans reaches. And Evans lines a ball, and a diving third baseman, DeLeon, comes up with it, as that was a sinking liner, and that will do it for the Lady Panthers in the bottom of the second inning. On to the third. Liberty 1, Lake Belton 1, Liberty Panthers Sports Network.
What's your favorite high school sports memory? A late inning rally? A game-winning shot? A photo finish? Maybe it's a pep rally or a pregame ritual. Maybe it's the euphoria of a late-night bus ride home after a hard-fought win. Maybe it's having pizza with teammates after the game. Now, imagine if it never happened at all. School sports need your help. With budgets getting tighter, it's more than the games that are on the line. It's all the traditions, the community pride, the culture of your hometown high school. Plus, all those memories that are on the line, too. What can you do? It's simple. Buy a ticket when you can. Go to a game. Take the whole family. Let's do everything we can to keep those cherished school sports memories alive.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panther Sports Network. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood with play-by-play. Producer Richard Ewing. Moving into the top of the third inning here. Game 1, best-of-3 series in the regional championship round. The Elite Eight. Your Liberty Lady Panthers won. The Lady Broncos of Lake Belton won.
Haley Hoffman, left fielder for Lake Belton, looks at a pitch for a strike on the inside corner.
Ross, we're going to be running a couple of commercials. I know they say today and yesterday, but those performances are going to be next Wednesday and Thursday, same time.
Casey West goes outside corner for that strike, and it's no balls and 2 strikes to the 9-hitter for Lake Belton, Haley Hoffman. Casey goes outside, and a pitch sliding just off the outside corner.
Yeah, she was really looking for that one. Thomas almost framed it back in perfectly.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Top of the third inning, a 1-1 game in Navasota, Lake Belton and Liberty regional final. This ball hit off the bat, slow looper fielded by Reese Evans, and there was no play there for Evans as that ball was just hit too slow.
Yeah, the little communication error right there, and it was almost a no man's land. Reese Evans at shortstop, Jalen Pritchard at third. Neither one of them really had a play on it, and therefore neither one of them knew who to call off. That's just one of those things that happen in this beautiful game of softball. You're going to get some bloops like that.
Infield single gets it started for the Lake Belton Lady Broncos. A courtesy runner coming in for Hoffman, Trinity Collins. She will be at first. And back to the top of the order, Autumn Holman. Holman struck out in her first at bat, is squared around to show bunt with Reagan Williamson and Jalen Pritchard charging hard towards the plate. And that pitch misses low. 1 ball and no strikes. Squares around to bunt, misses, pitches outside, runner goes. And she is going to slide in safely as that ball gets by Evans and into center field. Birkeland backing that one up and got it in.
Yeah, the throw from Thomas not quite there. And fortunately, Birkeland was there to back up the bounce.
Two balls and no strikes. Lake Belton with the runner in scoring position. A slap bunt attempt by Holman comes up empty. Jalen Pritchard playing in front of the bag. Reagan Williamson now even with the bag at first. Another slap bunt attempt. Fielded by a charging Pritchard who throws to first for the out. Moving to third base on the play is the courtesy runner Trinity Collins.
Yeah, Jalen had to get that easy out there. Unfortunately, with only 1 out, a deep fly could score from third.
Shelby Schultz struck out in her first at bat, looks at ball 1. Throw quickly down by Holly Thomas to third, trying to catch Collins, who slides back in head first. The pitch was a ball from Casey West. 1-1. Top of the third inning. Lake Belton with a runner at third. 1-0 pitch from West, misses low and outside.
And the problem here, Ross, is the Lady Panthers are really going to have to get this batter via the strikeout so that they can avoid giving up that RBI sack.
The 2-0 pitch, close, but just misses outside. And Jalen Pritchard is going to go talk to Casey West, who's fallen behind Schultz. 3 balls and no strikes. A runner at third base. The courtesy runner, Trinity Collins.
I love to see that. Jalen and Casey both smiling. Love to see that.
The 3-0 pitch. Outside for a ball, and second walk of the game for Casey West.
That was actually a pretty smart play right there. Now they've got them in a position for a double play action that could negate that runner on third if they can do it right.
With that walk, Karen Slack going out to the circle to talk to her pitcher and infielder.
Now the thing that they're going to have to be really worried about in this situation is, what did you call that, catcher's indifference? And this is going to be something, if they're going to give up the steal, don't want to give that up, but at the same time, don't want to have that previous situation that scored the runner in the top of the second inning.
Beach balls flying around on the Liberty side. A Hawaiian theme.
Lady Panthers breaking up the conference in the circle.
Shelby Schultz
Now batting,
will stay in and run for herself.
Casey Schultz.
Casey Schultz, the shortstop, comes in with runners at first and third and only one away. Schultz squares around a bunt, bunts it foul down the first baseline, a charging Reagan Williamson. Fields it in foul territory and strike.
Yeah, they've got the bunt and run on here, and so this is going to be a situation where whoever fields this is going to have to look back the third baseman or runner and then quickly get the out at first, and then Holly Thomas will have to be ready to take the return strike.
The 0-1 pitch misses low. Running down to second is Schultz, stealing second. Holly Thomas fakes the throw to second, throws down to third, but not in to get a diving Trinity Collins. And with one away, Lake Belton has 2 runners in scoring position. A 1-1 count on the shortstop, Casey Schultz. And Schultz pops this ball into the between shallow second and first base. Ranging to her left was Bishop. That makes the out.
Yeah, that couldn't have been a better set of circumstances for the Lady Panthers. A nice, easy something that didn't allow the tag up and go.
Off the bat, it appeared like it may get over the infield, but it did not. A swing and a foul back into the screen by Madison Lux. Lux in right field today for Lake Belton. 1-1, top of the third. I almost said bottom. I didn't. Casey West missing low and outside. As Holly Thomas caught this one just above the dirt in the right-handed batter's box. Runners at second and third, 2 away, top of the third inning. And a bouncer. Bishop ranges to her right, plants herself and throws to first for the out. A walk, an infield hit, 2 left. We go to the middle of the third inning, 1-1. Liberty Panther Sports.
Join the LHS Panther players on Wednesday, May 26th as they present Robert Harling's Steel Magnolias. Laughter and tears abound inside a Louisiana beauty shop as 6 women find strength and love with each other while facing their own mortality. Touching, funny, marvelous. Don't miss it. Tickets are $5 at the door.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panthers Sports Network, Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood, and producer Richard Ewing moving into the bottom of the third inning, and your Liberty Lady Panthers playing with some fire in the top of the third, able to get out of that situation without giving up any runs, and it's still knotted up at 1, and we've got Bailey Slack due up to bat.
It's Slack, Pritchard, and Beam due up for the Lady Panthers in the bottom of the third inning, and in between innings, the beach balls flying all over the Liberty stands. See a good mix of students. The cheerleaders are sitting down below us.
Yeah, there's a really good crowd on hand today. Much better than I thought for a Thursday with a school day tomorrow. But your Liberty Lady Panthers have been traveling so well this year. Every single contest that we've covered, there's been a really good crowd. Lake Belton represented very well themselves, and there's a high energy here. We knew this was going to be a close series, Ross. This wasn't going to be one of those 10-run rule dustings that both teams have been putting up. This is the regional championship game, the Elite Eight. The winner of this headed to the state tournament and the Final Four.
Bailey Slack is ready. Shelby Schultz is ready and delivers the first pitch of the inning. And it is sent foul into the screen by Slack, just shy of the Lady Panther dugout on the third baseline.
Yeah, Bailey's been doing a really great job. She's been catching some fire lately. See if she can put something in play and get these Lady Panthers back on track, starting out hot in the bottom of the first inning.
.460 batting average, a .495 on-base percentage. As the 1-1 pitch is in for a strike.
The catcher for Lake Belton pretty animated on that one. Pretty happy with what she saw.
No balls and 2 strikes. Shelby Schultz, 3 strikeouts through 2 innings. And a rise ball that goes outside and high.
Yeah, that lefty is going to take some getting used to, Ross. The ball comes out just a little bit differently. It breaks the way you're not used to seeing it break.
Very difficult for a left-handed lefty-on-lefty matchup. Outfielders playing straight up. And the 1-2 pitch is low, hits the dirt. Evens the count at 2.
Yeah, Bailey Slack doing a really good job of watching that and laying off of that.
Jalen Pritchard is on deck. Schultz taking her time with this 2-2 pitch. She's ready and winds. And the 2-2 pitch misses way high, pulling the catcher for Lake Belton out of her crouch. Second time we've seen that.
That's right.
Where
the Lady
momentum
Panthers
moves down to the third baseline.
Absolutely. The Lady Panthers need to do a good job of letting this pitcher show that she can find the zone and not helping her out.
Full count. Was 0-2, now a full count. Bailey Slack bounces a ball. The shortstop Schultz dives on it, will not have a play. And Bailey Slack reaches for the Lady Panthers to start the bottom of the third inning.
Yeah, the shortstop had to reach way into her front pocket on that one, making a great diving stop to prevent that from turning into dew. And Bailey Slack, like a bolt of lightning out of that left side batter's box, and she was down there touching the first bag before the shortstop even had a chance to pop up.
Question for the umpires coming out of the Lake Belton dugout. Not sure what that was about, and it may not have been a question as the home plate umpire looked like maybe he was talking to fans from Lake Belton who are standing behind the Lady Bronco dugout. Back to the top of the order, Jalen Pritchard singled and scored in the first inning. Looks at the first pitch, a rise ball way out of the zone. Bailey Slack dancing a little bit off of first base, but not too far.
Well, Ross, run rule games are fun to watch, but it's much more fun when it's close. We asked for a great series so far, as advertised.
A warm, sunny day in Navasota, and the 1-0 pitch is in for a strike at about knee-high.
In Lake Belton, a freshman sophomore campus slated to most likely be a 6A in the next realignment, have a boatload of kids over there in Lake Belton.
Bottom of the third, 1-1 game. Jalen Pritchard with a 1-1 count at the plate. Bailey Slack on first after the infield single. Jalen Pritchard swings and foul tips this one into the glove of the Lake Belton catcher. Ball and 2 strikes now.
That was a great cut by Jalen. She was just about half an inch away from putting that into the gap, I think.
Lake Belton's catcher walks out in front of the plate, raises her fist in the air as a sign, and now the fielders on the infield turning back to the outfield to make sure the outfield has the sign. And the 1-2 pitch, a rise ball sent over the shortstop's head and into left center field for a base hit. The Lady Panthers open the bottom of the third inning with 2 consecutive singles. This one hit a little harder.
That's exactly what we've come to expect from the leadoff hitter, Jalen Pritchard. Even though she's batting second in this particular iteration, she was so close to doing that when she had that foul tip strike for strike 2. She has such a great cut right there, right into that little spot right over the infield. Really beautiful.
DeLeon, the third baseman, goes in to talk to her pitcher. Coming also in is Frederick at second as they look to the dugout for their sign. Macy Beam, the batter. Beam had a sacrifice bunt in her first at bat. Shows bunt, hits it sharply back to the pitcher Schultz, who has one play at first to retire Beam. And another sacrifice by Macy Beam. 1-3 put out and moves both runners into scoring position.
Yeah, everybody in that infield was expecting that. The second baseman and the shortstop were almost level with the pitcher's circle. 2 runners in scoring position now with 1 out, Ross. This is a great situation.
Casey West has been intentionally walked to load the bases with 1 out.
Casey West, the 6th walk.
That's respect, Ross Norwood. That is respect. The number 3 hitter in the lineup. She's the number 3 hitter for a reason. She's got long ball power, but don't sleep on Michaela Birkland. She's headed to college for a reason, and it's not because they like her.
Birkland has driven in 45 runs. She's hit 5 long balls as she gets ready for the first pitch from Schultz. It's high. Bailey Slack infield singles at third. Jalen Pritchard with the single at second. Casey West was intentionally walked. She is at first. Ashlyn Cordova in as the courtesy runner. Swing and a miss as Michaela Birkland takes a huge rip at that one.
Yeah, she reached into her back pocket on there and tried to put the barrel of the bat through her shoulder. Well, she took a cut on that one.
Birkland, a .436 batting average with runners in scoring position this year. 3 1s on the scoreboard. A ball, a strike, and an out. And Birkland looks at a pitch on the outside corner.
Yeah, that came back across the outside. It must have just barely touched. I know the crowd doesn't like that. And the second baseman for Lake Belton, she is living on the edge. She is way up right now. I'm not sure what they're doing there, but Michaela Birkland, she's not one to lay a bunt down.
Birkland has the bat up, ready for the 1-2 pitch, and it misses high, just above the belt, maybe a little outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out, bases loaded for Liberty. Bottom of the third inning, a tie game.
A long fly will score at least one if she can do that.
After each pitch, Lake Belton looks to their dugout for the next sign, and Birkeland lifts this ball foul over the screen, just over the first base dugout.
That's right, went John Travolta, staying alive, Ross. Say, I can do stuff too. Producer Richard Ewing, not the only one that has the jokes. Also doesn't have a headset, so he can't relish my comedy chops right now.
Birkeland walked in her first at bat. Was left on base. As we said, .436 average with runners in scoring position. Holly Thomas is the on-deck hitter. Bottom of the third inning, a 1-1 game. Birkeland looks at this pitch just off the corner. And a full count to the senior center fielder.
Can I admit something to you, Ross? My heart is in my chest right now. We've been waiting on something like this.
Wind is blowing straight out to center field. The 3-2 pitch, a rise ball that's fouled into the screen by Michaela Birkeland.
Yeah, I think she was trying to come back with a changeup on that one, but she was able to battle that and get it going. And what we have right now is we've got this very savvy senior in the box right now against someone who doesn't have the experience, and hopefully that's something that's going to play out for the Lady Panthers right here. Senior Michaela Birkeland battling, staying alive, 3 ducks on the pond. A long fly will score somebody. Want to get in the gap to score a couple of somebodies.
The speedy Bailey Slack is at third. Jalen Pritchard also singled, is at second. Intentional walk to Casey West and the courtesy runner Ashlyn Cordova. A slow bouncer, they come home with it. And sliding in, but not in time, is Bailey Slack as the shortstop comes home on the shallow bouncer, 2 away. Jalen Pritchard going into third.
Well, that was not ideal for the Lady Panthers. That was a great defensive play from Lake Belton. Very heads-up play coming to home to get the force. Now still the situation, 3 on, 2 outs now, and won't be able to sacrifice anyone. This is going to have to be a legitimate hit. Be patient at the plate. Holly Thomas does have long ball power. She does have gap power. And let's see what the exciting freshman can do, Ross.
Holly Thomas, 36 RBIs on the season. 19 of those RBIs coming with 2 outs. And we will have a conference as the head coach is coming in and calling all the infielders and outfielders in for this.
The head coach for Lake Belton coming in. I believe the school is only 2 years old.
Yeah, this is first postseason they played in.
And he has been there for their iteration, and he came over from, I believe, Belton, where he was very, very successful there. I think he's over 300 wins. So Lake Belton going to be very well coached.
And Belton, 13 years there.
Yeah, he had a long tenure there. Now he's the girls coordinator for Lake Belton and the head girls softball coach. Again, great program that they have over there.
I made a mistake. That is Casey West at second. Ashley Cordova did not come in as the courtesy runner. 2 away. Holly Thomas, the freshman catcher, struck out in her first at bat. Right-handed batter wearing those high black socks, pinstripe pants, pinstripe jersey with black piping on the shoulders. And the first pitch is a strike from Shelby Schultz, who's in a pickle, had 1 out and the bases loaded after an intentional walk to Casey West. Bases are still loaded, 2 outs, 1-1 game. Jalen Pritchard is at third. Holly Thomas looks at a pitch low.
That's a good idea.
Diving away from her.
If the Lady Panthers are not able to get anything out of this, that coach is going to look like a genius for intentionally walking west.
Schultz has the ball under glove, winds her arm, and Holly Thomas sends this one foul into the screen. 1-1. Bottom of the third inning, 2 outs, a 1-2 count to Holly Thomas. The bases are loaded. 2 singles and an intentional walk and a fielder's choice as Bailey Slack was forced out at home on the fielder's choice from Michaela Berkland. The 1-2 pitch. Again, a rise ball. Holly Thomas fouling it off the screen. Catcher for Lake Belton fielding that one, catching it in the air, but it was off the carom. Does not count as an out. She has done that several times.
Is pretty active behind the plate for the Lady Broncos.
She does move a lot behind the plate. The 1-2 pitch to Holly Thomas. She starts to swing. They're going to ask for an appeal, and the field umpire behind second base says she did not go.
Yeah, I didn't think she went at all. I don't think that was anything. I think the crowd reaction was looking for the strike call more so than the swing, and he wasn't having that on the outside.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the third, bases loaded. 1-1 game in Navasota. Liberty and Lake Belton regional final. Let me see if I can get that in any faster. The 2-2 pitch. Bounced to the pitcher Schultz, who jumps up in the air, gets it, throws on to first for the third out of the inning, and is able to work around trouble. 2 hits, an intentional walk, the fielder's choice, 3 left. 4th inning coming up next on the Liberty Panthers Sports Network, 1-1.
It's going to take guts to make the 200-mile trip from Liberty to Austin. Along the way are 5 rounds of grueling playoff softball. Lose, and you go home. Once you get there, another 2 until you're the last one standing. Will it be the Lady Panthers? Time to find out.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panther Sports Network. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood, producer Richard Ewing. Game 1, best of 3 in the Regional Championship Series here in Navasota, Texas. Moving to the top of the 4th. Lady Panthers striking early in the 1st inning, then getting it pulled back in the 2nd inning. In the bottom of the 3rd, 3 ducks on the pond with no outs. One out. Not able to get anyone across. 2 straight fielder's choices to end the inning. And right now, it seems like both sides are still trying to fill each other out. I'm not sure what they can do offensively or defensively, but I can say this, Ross. The middle and the bottom part of the Lady Panther offense is going to have to wake up and come alive if they're going to keep battling. We've got multiple situations of senior versus freshman on both sides, and it seems like right now it's going to be who's able to take that youth and inexperience and win against the experienced and vice versa, and that's going to be who comes out on top.
Elena Herrera leads it off for Lake Belton.
Leading off the top of the 4th for the Lady Broncos, the designated player, number 2, Elena Herrera.
Casey West talking with third baseman Jalen Pritchard, who picked up a little rosin bag sitting behind the rubber in the circle. The right-handed batting Herrera struck out and has grounded out to Bishop at second in her 2 at-bats. Top of the 4th inning. And the first pitch from West is high and outside. Actually, that was right. The scoreboard messed me up there as they went from no balls to 2 balls.
They fixed that now.
Thought maybe I'd missed something.
Oh.
Home plate umpire says the 1-0 pitch from Casey West was just below the knees for a ball.
That looked like her drop ball right there. That darted in there real fast. That looked good.
The 2-0 pitch from West, a little high above the belt. Herrera, the leadoff hitter in the 4th inning for Lake Belton, has a 3-0 count on deck. Is the third baseman, Angie DeLeon. That pitch catches the outside corner. Herrera shaking her head at the home plate umpire.
I feel bad for the umpire. No matter what he calls, half the fans are not going to like it.
West with a 3-1 pitch. Strike on the inside corner. Herrera thought it was a walk. Throws her arms in the air at the umpire. And it's a full count.
You love it, Ross. He's been fairly consistent, but that's a little pause giving right there.
3-2 pitch misses high and outside, and it is a walk. The third walk for Casey West. Herrera aboard to lead off the fourth for Lake Belton.
That young lady didn't pull that bat off her shoulder on any of those pitches. I think she went up there looking for a walk the entire way.
DeLeon comes up. Right-handed batter, open batting stance. First pitch from West, gets away from Holly Thomas, goes to the backstop, and moving into second is Herrera. That is a pass ball.
Holly Thomas going to call time, going to step out to talk to her pitcher. And right now it feels like they're not quite on the same page. They've been really electric through this playoff run and haven't had much competition at them. This is the first real competition that they've had, and not to disparage the other teams, but as far as where we're at right now.
I want to say something about the home plate umpire, and those of you listening have heard groans from both sides, and that's always a sign of a guy that's got a pretty consistent zone.
Yeah. When you can make both people unhappy, you're doing something right, I think.
The umpire gets behind Holly Thomas for the 1-0 pitch, which is a strike at the knees to DeLeon. Jalen Pritchard is playing just in front of the bag at third with the runner Herrera, who walked and moved into second on a pass ball. As this pitch almost gets away from Holly Thomas, a little high from Casey West, 2 balls and a strike. Top of the fourth inning, nobody out, 1-1 game. A swing and a miss to the pitch that was diving out of the strike zone. A feebly thought out swing there by DeLeon.
Yeah, DeLeon she's just throwing her bat out there. I'm not sure what she was looking at.
2-2 pitch from West. Again, fooled as she swings at a pitch outside and comes up empty. Strikeout for Casey West. Her fifth. Zakyra Frederick comes up with 1 out and a runner at second base, top of the fourth inning, a 1-1 game, Lake Belton and Liberty. And the first pitch gets in on Frederick, and she fouls it off the handle of the bat into the screen.
Yeah, Frederick has been interesting to watch so far defensively. She has been up near the pitcher as the second baseman, and she's really long and leggy, and she's got some speed if she can get the barrel on the ball.
Frederick looks at a ball just low.
Yeah, her strike zone's going to be just a bit higher because of the length of her legs and her torso.
Stands in the middle of the right-handed batter's box. No batting gloves. And looks at ball 2 away. Herrera, who walked and moved to second on a pass ball, is there right now with 1 out in the top of the fourth inning. West with a beautiful pitch just above the kneecaps.
Yeah.
Even the count at 2.
Not sure what that was from our vantage point. I don't know if that ducked in or not. It looked like a changeup coming across the inside. Pretty placement.
2-2 pitch. Sit on the ground. Right to Kylie Bishop. Puts her glove down and throws the first for the second out of the fourth inning.
The only thing that happened there is she was able to move the runner Herrera over to third. 2 outs though.
Herrera led off the inning. Was the third walk for Casey West in this game. A pass ball sent her to second, and that play sent her to first. And the first pitch to Hannah Jensen, the first baseman for Lake Belton, is a ball low. Tom Guidry with a vuvuzela.
Oh.
That pitch just missing. Borderline pitch. A pitch on 1-0 as a batter you take. Jensen took. It was a ball, and it's 2 balls and no strikes with 2 outs. Top of the 4th inning. Herrera is at third base. As this pitch backs Jensen off the plate. 3 balls and no strikes. Jalen Pritchard goes in the circle to talk to Casey West.
We've seen a lot of pitching conferences so far.
The 3-0 pitch. Bounced short, softly. Jalen Pritchard fields it. Low throw to Williamson at first. It's bobbled, and a run is in for Lake Belton.
Boy, that was a can of corn right there, and that was a low throw, misplayed at the bag. And we talked about this, cannot make those sorts of mistakes if you're going to be successful. But again, haven't really had a bunch of stress in the playoffs so far, and hopefully that's going to be the thing that wakes up the Lady Panther defense to allow them to get back on track.
Lake Belton taking their first lead of the game at 2 runs, 2-1. The runner at first, Hannah Jensen, reached on the error. He scored an E3, and it looks like we'll have a courtesy runner. As the head coach for Lake Belton comes down all the way down the third base line to talk to the home plate umpire. And that is exactly what happened.
Courtesy runner for the Lady Broncos, number 5,
Madison Updike, the courtesy runner for Lake Belton. A run is in the top of the 4th inning, 2 away. Lake Belton leads 2-1. And the first pitch to Hoffman, the 9-hole hitter, is a ball. She singled, got as far as third in the 3rd inning before being stranded there. Swing and a miss. Runner goes and is safe as she gets just in time, gets into second base.
Yeah, Evans wasn't able to get her on the sweep tag there. A pretty good throw. Just not quite there.
A 1-1 count to Haley Hoffman with 2 away and a runner in scoring position. That pitch misses low. A good job by Holly Thomas to pick that ball off the dirt. To keep Jensen, actually, that is Madison Updike, the courtesy runner. At second base, this one misses outside. 3 balls and a strike, 2 away, top of the 4th inning. A 2-1 Lake Belton lead in Game 1 of the best-of-3 regional final series. This pitch misses inside, backing away. Haley Hoffman, it is the 2nd walk of the inning, the 4th of the day for Casey West. And with 2 outs, the lineup will turn over for Lake Belton.
Thomas going to step out to the center circle again. I keep saying center circle, I'm a soccer coach. And stepping out to the pitcher circle. The entire infield going to come in. Ross, they have got to get this under control. This is uncharacteristic of the Lady Panther defense. Kind of had a feeling this might happen just because of the cruise control sort of situation that they've had in the previous 4 rounds. Now they're getting some pushback from another team, and it's time to wake up and get going.
First and second with 2 outs, and the leadoff batter, Autumn Holman, comes up. Top of the order, not leadoff. First pitch to her misses outside. She runs down to first base as she takes a swing and misses to even the count at 1. 2 outs, a run in for Lake Belton. They lead 2-1 in this top of the 4th inning. Casey West has walked 2. As the 1-1 pitch misses low. Four walks on the day for Casey West to go along with 5 strikeouts. Holman shows bunt, pulls it back, looks at ball 3. Holly Thomas throws the ball high to try to get Updike, and a great play by Bishop going from the second base side of the bag to the shortstop side of the bag to keep that ball in the infield.
Yeah, the senior Berkland back there to back that up. She's been really good for Thomas as a safety net when she throws down to second.
The 3-1 pitch. Hacked into the screen. A hard liner into the screen for a foul ball to run the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs, 2 runners on. An error in the inning, a run scored in the inning, 2 walks in the inning. And there's even been a strikeout. The 3-2 pitch. Bounce to Jalen Pritchard at third, who fields it, goes back towards third base, steps on third, and that will do it. Lake Belton puts a run on the board. 2 left, an error, 2 walks. We go to the middle of the 4th inning, 2-1, Lake Belton, Liberty Panthers Sports Network.
All of us love sports, but not all sports are created equal. College sports have big budgets, dedicated alumni networks, and corporate sponsorships. Professional sports have even deeper pockets, millionaire owners, lucrative TV and radio deals, and merchandise sales. High school sports have you. Everyone agrees high school sports give us plenty of reasons to cheer. And now's a great time for us to give back. Supporting your hometown high school won't cost you much, but it will go a long way to ensuring the games we love the most are here to stay. Texas high school sports. They're good for our kids, good for our community, and best of all, they're good for you.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panthers Sports Network, Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood on play-by-play, producer Richard Ewing. Moving into the bottom of the 4th inning, the Lady Broncos able to put one across in the top to take a 2-1 lead as we move again into this bottom of the 4th. Kylie Bishop stepping up to lead off for the Lady Panthers. And right now, Ross, the difference in the game has been the bottom of the order for both teams. Lake Belton able to do something with the bottom of their order, and so far, Lady Panthers not.
Kylie Bishop is in the box, ready to look at her first offering from Shelby Schultz. A rise ball sent foul into the screen. Bishop, Chandler, and Evans due up for the Lady Panthers in the 4th inning. Something, Joe, we've not seen before is after every pitch, every fielder looks into the dugout at Lake Belton dugout for a sign. There is a strike just below the belt, and it is quickly no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, the junior Bishop needs to get something going here. She's been pretty spectacular defensively.
A good pitch from Schultz. This ball is sent just foul as it goes to the right side of the first base bag.
Well, that was close.
Dug in the line.
That just went foul about a foot before the bag. Well, that would have been a pretty one if it had stayed fair. She may have been able to get 2 or 3 out of that.
The right fielder, Lux, is playing well off the line in right field. I guess that's where the right fielder would play.
One would hope, Ross.
No balls and 2 strikes. Kylie Bishop sends a bouncer right back to Schultz. Underhand toss to first. And that is the first out of the 4th inning for Liberty.
It's a nice little defensive play on the comebacker off the turf. Sometimes that chopper to the turf can be a little tough to handle. particularly where the sun is right now, where it's setting. It's in a bad spot for the right side of the field.
Batter's box almost completely in shadows. Bright sunshine still shining down on the center fielder and right fielder. Left field a little patchy over towards the line, some shade. Swing and a high foul ball out of play from Camden Chandler. Chandler struck out in her first at bat in the second inning.
It's one thing to consider. We talked about the bottom of this order. The Lady Panthers are pretty young at the bottom of the order. Some quality at bats, though, in the previous series.
Camden Chandler, a white and blue bat with black bat tape around, holds it just above her shoulder, and she swings and misses at an off-speed pitch.
Yeah, she got her with that changeup there. I think she was anticipating it, and she still swung a little bit early. That's the tough part about that changeup, especially coming out of a lefty's hand.
No balls and 2 strikes, 1 away in the bottom of the 4th inning. Lake Belton leads 2-1. This time, the changeup is sent foul behind the plate, and the catcher has a collision with the home plate umpire. Probably would have been able to make that catch.
Yeah, very athletic catcher trying to come back there, and fortunately a little bit of a wide-bodied umpire kept her from running around, or that probably would have been a pop-up out there.
Chandler ready for that off-speed pitch. Her white and blue bat, a Louisville Slugger. Adjusting her 1 batting glove on her right hand on the handle of the bat. The 0-2 pitch bounces back to the backstop as the catcher for Lake Belton attempted to backhand that one. Nobody on base, so not a problem. But where was that when the bases were loaded?
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Lady Panthers have got to force Schultz to pitch to them and not chase, especially in the bottom part of this lineup.
Chandler looks at strike 3. Oh, come on! About thigh high on that outside corner.
I am going to respectfully disagree with that call, but it is what it is. Camden Chandler going down looking on that one.
4th strikeout for Schultz. The second out of the 4th inning. Bailey Slack, the batter, left fielder, has come in shallow, playing well off the line in left field.
That looks like Reese Evans at the plate. Slack on deck.
Center fielder's playing shallow as well, moving back towards center field. And the first pitch, that's Reese Evans. I said Slack. Reese Evans fouls that pitch on a check swing into the screen. Evans lined out to DeLeon, and we are going to have the catcher's going to go run over and say something to the head coach. Not sure what that was about. Again, seeing things now for the first time. I don't know that I've ever seen a team consult with their coach as much, and it may have something to do with their inexperience.
And that could very well be it, Ross.
Evans with a wristband on her left arm, swings through a pitch.
You don't have any senior or junior leadership on this team, and the youthfulness of Lake Belton, they're going to have to lean on their coach, and he's a good one, to be fair.
Bailey Slack would hit next.
You don't get over 300 wins without having some ability.
Stands in the back of the box, starts down to first to go and appeal it to the third base umpire, who's standing behind the bag at third, says no. She did not go. A ball and 2 strikes.
That's one of those things about the slappers. You have to really watch them, because it looks like there's a lot of stuff going on. They're starting at the back of the box, moving forward, but they can do that all day long as they don't break their hands.
Schultz ready to deliver the 1-2 pitch. Looking for a 1-2-3 inning. And she's got it. Strike 3 looking. 5th strikeout for Schultz. A 1-2-3 fourth inning for the Lady Panthers. 2-1 to Lake Belton. On to the 5th.
We are excited to honor the class of 2021. There are no restrictions on the number of guests that can attend, but please be mindful and practice social distancing. If you cannot attend, please join us on the LHS-AV live stream link found on the Liberty High School website. Let's celebrate these graduates and go Panthers!
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panthers Sports Network. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood, producer Richard Ewing. Moving into the top of the 5th, the Lady Panthers trailing the Lady Broncos of Lake Belton 2-1. And moving out of the bottom of the 4th, the catcher for the Lady Broncos, Shimabukura, really selling that 3rd strike. I don't know that I've seen that before, Ross. I don't think the umpire was going to call a strike, and she turned around and looked at him, and then she got the lawnmower pull.
A lawnmower move by the home plate umpire. Also the catcher throwing the ball high in the air back towards the circle, something you don't normally see. You see maybe a shallow toss up, but this one was way high in the air, very animated catcher. Very busy catcher.
It's definitely a difference for us. None of the catchers that the Lady Panthers have seen so far have been as animated. And to be fair, she's pretty good back there.
When she can keep the ball in her glove. Casey West faces her counterpart to lead off the inning and throws her a strike. Shelby Schultz has struck out and walked. Struck out in the 1st, walked in the 3rd. This pitch missing. Home plate umpire thought that one was low. Swing and a miss by Schultz, who's tried to get a head start going to 1st, the left-handed batter. No batting gloves, a wristband with signs on her right arm. Swings and sends this one foul.
And she doesn't have a lot of bat speed here. I think she's just trying to get some contact so she can get down. Not really slapping the ball either. I think maybe a true left-handed hitter here. She is a left-handed pitcher.
1-2 pitch misses outside. Holly Thomas sliding past the right-handed batter's box to snag that one. Another pitch low. That one coming in below the knees and outside. And it's a full count to Shelby Schultz. Schultz and Lux due up for Lake Belton. The payoff pitch sent foul down the left field line. Macy Beam going over to retrieve that ball.
Yeah, just throwing her bat out there, trying to get it on, trying to battle, trying to cause Casey to throw more pitches.
West keeps her signs on her pants, and that pitch misses outside for a ball.
Initially, Casey was getting the corner, and now she's not getting the corner. And so that's been a difference in the last couple of innings. A little frustrating for her. It looked like she was going to be able to live on that outside, and now she's going to be forced to bring her pitch in just a little bit, and I know she doesn't like to do that too much.
Casey Schultz steps to the plate. Bunts a hard one back to Casey West, who fields it, throws on to 1st, and Bishop secures it for the 1st out. Moving to 2nd base is Shelby Schultz. So Schultz moves Schultz.
Now stepping into the box.
A 1-3 sacrifice.
12, Madison Lux.
Madison Lux struck out and grounded to Bishop at 2nd. Has a runner at 2nd base. The first pitch from West missing outside.
These Lady Broncos have just really turned on the patience and have stayed away from that pitch.
Reese Evans deep in the shortstop hole. So is Kylie Bishop.
Yeah, Casey's at her best when she's able to get that corner and then pull out just a little bit more to get them to chase. And right now she's not getting the corner, so consequently she's not getting the chase.
The 2-0 pitch is swung on and missed. Swinging over that, Madison Lux. 1 out, top of the 5th inning, a 2-1 Lake Belton lead. Sent foul into the screen and bouncing back onto the field of play. Jalen Pritchard coming in to give that one an underhand toss back to Casey. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Some activity in the Liberty bullpen. That pitch is low. An appeal down to third base. The third base umpire gives palms down, and it's a full count.
I didn't think she made an offering at that one. That was just Thomas just being smart, seeing if the umpires were awake.
The 3-2 pitch, missing outside. Casey West in frustration, raising her arms, wanting to know where that pitch was.
Well, that was in a great spot, Ross, and sort of a head scratcher to me. I don't want to second guess anyone because they have their own zone. But if Casey's not going to get that one, that's going to be tough.
Second walk of the inning, 6 in the game. Both runners at second and first reached as bubbles come pouring out of the Lake Belton dugout. And this pitch misses low.
This has shades of game 1 against Huffman all over it. The umpire was not giving the zone to Casey, and he started out great with a great zone, and now he's just kind of been inconsistent in these last 2 innings.
Casey West gets a strike call at the belt. Herrera, the batter, did not like that one. Thought that pitch came in above the belt.
To be honest with you, I didn't like it either. That didn't look like a strike from here.
Herrera has walked to come around to score twice. That's a strike on the outside corner. Herrera.
We're living in bizarro world, Ross, where balls are strikes and strikes are balls.
Throws her head back in disgust at that call. 2-1 Lake Belton. And Herrera looks at a close pitch on the outside corner. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That is the exact same spot where he reached down deep for that strikeout call.
Casey West with 1 out in the top of the 5th inning, 2 runners on. A bouncer to the shortstop, Evans. Moves to her right, throws on to Pritchard at third for the force out. Forcing out Shelby Schultz. Getting the second out, a fielder's choice for Herrera.
It's a great heads-up play by Evans to come back across her body and hit Jalen Pritchard on third to get that lead runner. Now with 2 outs, anywhere is the spot to end this half inning.
Angie DeLeon, the third baseman, looks at ball 1.
I don't want to be accused of being a homer, Ross, but maybe I shouldn't say anything about the strike zone, but it's been interesting.
Calling time is DeLeon. Gets back in. Puts her back foot on the line of the batter's box. Swings and misses at a strike. Madison Lux at second. She walked. Elena Herrera reached on a fielder's choice. Is at first. 2 away in the top of the 5th inning. A 2-1 Lake Belton lead. Lake Belton putting a run on the board in the 2nd and 4th inning. Liberty scored their lone run in the 1st.
Yeah, when the game started, it looked like it was going to be batting practice. They seemed to have the timing down, and then they just sort of cooled off.
Come on, stay in the box.
DeLeon stepping out of the box again, quickly gets back in and looks at a pitch just below the knees.
I think they're going to start lighting the torches pretty soon if that call keeps getting called the ball.
Like I said, both sides moaning and groaning. So you've got to think the strike zone's fairly accurate, or at least consistent.
It's like an episode of Doctor Who.
2-1 pitch. Misses low, below the kneecaps. About the shins. 3 balls and a strike.
It is tough being the blue. Tough being the blue, Ross.
2 walks in the inning for KC West. They're both on base. As this ball gets in on DeLeon. And she fists this ball foul towards the Lady Panther dugout on the third baseline. DeLeon outside the box. Puts the bat over her head, stretching. Gets back in. Back foot is on the inside line of the batter's box. She swings, comes up empty, and that will do it. Lake Belton stranding 2. We head to the middle of the 5th inning, a 2-1 Lake Belton lead. Liberty Panther Sports Network will be back.
And saying, take me out to the ball game.
Established in 2007, the Liberty ISD Education Foundation is an independent, nonprofit 501c3 organization whose mission is to enhance the educational experiences of Liberty Public Schools by fostering community support above and beyond what is provided by the district's normal operating budget. The board of directors consists of residents, retired educators, and business people whose commitment to public education in Liberty is strong and in the best interest of every child in the school system. The mission of the Liberty ISD Education Foundation is to help Liberty ISD enrich, maintain, and expand programs needed to ensure that each student reaches his or her full potential. The Liberty ISD Education Foundation believes that investing in our students today will return excellent leadership tomorrow.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panthers Sports Network, Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood on play-by-play, producer Richard Ewing. Again here in Navasota, Lady Rattler Field, Game 1, best of 3 in this regional championship series. The Elite 8 teams left battling for a chance to raise the trophy to become the state champion. And your Lady Panthers trailing 2-1, moving into the bottom of the 5th. And it has been exciting to say the least. So far, Lady Panthers striking early, and then Lake Belton clawing right back. Both teams stranding multiple runners, and it's going to be a battle of attrition, probably.
Lady Panthers have stranded 4. Lake Belton, 7 base runners. Lake Belton's had base runners in each inning, with the exclusion of the 1-2-3 first inning KC West had. Bailey Slack singled. Was forced out at home and looks at ball 1. Two to 1 Lake Belton. Bottom of the 5th inning, getting late for the Lady Panthers. Slack looks at a pitch that was too high. Bailey Slack, Jalen Pritchard, Macy Beam due up for Liberty in the bottom of the 5th inning. Huge crowd on hand, both schools turning out well for this one. The 2-0 pitch from Schultz above the belt. Caught that outside corner, but it just above the belt.
Yeah, real good eye from Slack. She's really growing into a real good hitter.
Schultz on the 3-0 pitch puts this one across, a get-me-over fastball.
Or I should rather say she's growing into good batter.
2-1 Lake Belton, bottom of the 5th inning. Liberty scored first with 1 in the first. Lake Belton put up 1 in the second and 1 in the 4th. Slack pounds this one to the shortstop. It takes a hop and heads out to center field. Bailey Slack trips going around first base.
I'll be honest with you,
rocket.
I don't know if she would have made it to second. That was probably a blessing in disguise there. But she was out like a bolt of lightning. And that was something that they needed. Maybe that was the spark the Lady Panthers need. That just booted off of the shortstop. Initially a great placement. And just, I think she brought her head up before she really had that ball secured.
It'll be an E6. But it gives Liberty a base runner. That ball was hit so sharply that it fielded cleanly, even with the speedy Bailey Slack. It should have been an out.
Yeah, that probably would have been able to be an out. But shoulda, coulda, woulda, Ross. Lady Panthers, the beneficiaries.
First error committed by Lake Belton.
Now they got to do something with it.
Jalen Pritchard looks at a strike. On the inside corner, about thigh high.
And that was a good strike. I'll give and I'll take. That was a good call.
Bailey Slack reaches on an error at first. Bottom of the fifth inning, a 2-1 Lake Belton lead. And Jalen Pritchard, an 0-1 count. Here is the 0-1 pitch. Pritchard puts this one on the ground to the second baseman who steps, or to the first baseman who steps on first. Wheels around, throws to second, but Bailey Slack is there in time.
That was a really good play by the first baseman, Jensen, to throw it down to Schultz, the shortstop. That was really close. If Slack hadn't been as fast as she is, probably might have got her.
Score that one 3 unassisted. Slack moving into second. One out, and Macy Beam to the plate. She has 2 sacrifice bunts in her 2 plate appearances, with the third baseman creeping in. Looks at ball 1. DeLeon wearing a face guard. This is the shortstop, Schultz.
Yeah, no one around the bag, so Slack's kind of at liberty to step off and dance a little bit. No pun intended.
Shortstop playing halfway. Second baseman, Frederick, halfway. Even with the bag is Jensen at first. And it's 2 balls and no strikes to Macy Beam.
And Slack going to have to be a little careful. Frederick really fast, ranging back to try to get in behind her in case the catcher wants to throw down there and take a chance on her.
532 is the batting average for Macy Beam with runners in scoring position. She has Bailey Slack. A 2 ball and no strike count with 1 out. Casey West is on deck. Beam looks at this ball. A good job by the catcher to pick that one off the dirt. She is going to call timeout, get it granted by the home plate umpire, trot out to the circle. And here comes the infield for Lake Belton. Didn't look like the first baseman was going to come in. Comes in delayed.
Now this is going to be an interesting situation. If Beam gets on, what are they going to do with West? They know that she can hit. Are they going to walk her again? I don't know that they need to.
If Beam reaches and is at first base, they won't have the base open like they did the last time. A walk would put 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out. Macy Beam, a 3-0 count. And that pitch misses high.
Well, let's see what they're going to do.
Only the third walk issued by Schultz. One of those being intentional. Runners at first and second. Casey West.
Well, Ross, the wind is working out still. This could be what dreams are made of here in this pivotal game 1. The winner of this game certainly not being over, but definitely in the driver's seat.
West ready for the first pitch, and it is a strike, and it must have caught the front edge of the plate as it sunk well below the knees, almost to the shoe tops.
And that's not something West wanted to swing at. That was a changeup.
That was a pitch.
Speed.
If you do make contact, you just bounce it right into the ground, and with runners at first and second, a force play at third, second, and first. Schultz ready with the 0-1. That pitch is called a strike. Again, catching the front edge of the outside corner.
Yeah, getting some early break on that. She's not throwing any speed at her, trying to get her to chase that, and fortunately for her, catching the corner.
An error has Bailey Slack at second. Macy Beam walked. And 2 strikes, no balls to Casey West with 1 out in the 5th. West hits this one high in the air. The shortstop puts her arms out, calling everybody else off, and catches that one.
She came at her with 3 off-speed pitches in a row. Didn't want to give anything that she would be able to put some power on. And you were right on the money a while ago. That off-speed stuff, even if you make contact with it, unless it's fat right in the middle of the plate, you're going to do that. A weak pop fly, you're going to drive it into the dirt, or turf as it is.
Michaela Birkeland comes in. She reached on a fielder's choice and is walked. And the first pitch to Birkeland catches the outside corner. Much to the dismay of the Liberty fans.
That came across at her face and dropped. I'm not sure what he was looking at there. I'm just going to be out loud with it, Ross.
Runners at first and second, 2 away in the bottom of the 5th inning. Liberty trails 2-1, and Birkeland fouls this one out of play over the first base dugout towards the Ag Barn.
Yeah, when you're able to get strikes like that, then you force good hitters to take bad cuts, and that's probably what that last cut was, because they don't know where that ball is going to get called a strike.
Student section behind us and to our left, and they are doing a good job of supporting the Liberty Lady Panthers. Schultz in the driver's seat, an 0-2 count with 2 outs. Birkeland looks at that pitch that crosses just above the belt and outside. And a ball and 2 strikes, a close pitch. A new softball requested by the umpire after that foul ball to replace the one that was in his ball bag. Wears 2 ball bags on each side, on his left and right. Here is the 1-2 pitch. And it misses low and outside, similar to a couple of pitches called strikes in this at bat, but just a little bit lower.
Yeah, that looked like that actually was legitimately low. And granted, we are at about a 45-degree angle, so what we're seeing is not what he's seeing.
Birkeland in the middle of the box. Right arm, elbow is extended, and she swings and misses at a rise ball, and that'll do it for the Lady Panthers. They get 2 aboard, strand both. We head to the 6th inning with Liberty trailing 2-1 on the Liberty Panther Sports Network.
We are excited to honor the class of 2021. There are no restrictions on the number of guests that can attend, but please be mindful and practice social distancing. If you cannot attend, please join us on the LHS-AV live stream link found on the Liberty High School website. Let's celebrate these graduates, and go Panthers!
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panther Sports Network. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood on play-by-play. Producer Richard Ewing moving into the top of the 6th inning. Lady Panthers trailing the Lady Broncos of Lake Belton 2-1. And the story of the day, both teams stranding a boatload of base runners. Both teams kind of living on the edge defensively. And both pitchers trying to find their way, it seems, in the dark with the strike zone. And right now we're in the late part of the game, and it's still a pretty good contest. Both teams doing fairly well. Just a couple of mistakes separating both of these teams.
Not a lot of hits in this contest. You talked about the small village on the base paths. Both teams have left. 7 for Lake Belton, 6 for Liberty. Zakira Frederick leads it off. She reached on a fielder's choice and bounced out to Bishop at second. The right-handed batter, black bat. Looks at the first pitch below the knees for a ball. Silver helmets for Lake Belton. Go with their gray uniforms and high red socks and white shoes. That pitch just missing, looked about belt high.
Yeah, just inside there.
Two balls and no strikes to the second baseman, who swings under the 2-0 pitch. 2 balls and a strike, 2-1 Lake Belton. Top of the 6th inning. The story of this game has been some errors and runners left on base. And she sends this one out into the shortstop. Reese Evans leaving her feet, jumping straight up to try to catch it, can't get it. Berkland backing up Evans in left center field, gets the ball in, and at first.
Yeah, she almost bought a snow cone there, Ross.
Number 17.
Great athletic play, not able to come up with it. Both the outfielders there to pick up that ball to prevent it from turning into a multi-base hit. There's a nice little poke right there by the second baseman.
First hit allowed by Casey West since the 3rd inning. As a matter of fact, Casey West allowing only 1 hit. Squaring around to bunt is Schultz. Pritchard charging, comes in hard and gets it to Williamson at first for the out. Going into second is Frederick. Casey West, 6 strikeouts today.
To the plate, the left fielder, number 16.
But she has 6 walks.
Yeah, we don't normally see the walk total high for Casey.
Excuse me, that was Jensen, the first baseman, on the sacrifice. First pitch to Hoffman, the 9-hole hitter. There's a ball. Hoffman has singled, stolen a base, and walked. A pitch upstairs that she swings and misses on. Lots of Hawaiian shirts in the crowd today for Liberty. This ball lined right back to Casey West. Diving back in as West wheels around to throw to second to try to get Frederick, who was moving on the play.
She hesitated
got back
just a
in
bit.
safely. Little hesitation on Casey's part.
She was anticipating going to first, and then there was a little bit of miscommunication between the shortstop and the second baseman. I think she could have got her there
if that was the first move, but
right.
There's a runner at first.
Yeah, her initial move threw their move off.
Strike 1 to Autumn Holman. Holman has struck out. Bounced to Pritchard at third.
Get her a tennis racket!
Bounced to Holman. Holman has bounced to Pritchard for an unassisted put out. And after the first strike, she's going to go down and talk to her head coach. Down the third baseline, Lady Rattlers in blue and white. The home colors for Navasota High School. Lots of noise being made on the Liberty side. Autumn Holman thought about swinging there as she made her way towards first base, but pulled back, and that pitch misses high. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I think we've had more conferences in the center circle and other things between these two teams, than we had in the entirety of the previous 4 series.
I would venture to guess in the previous games, every game. West misses low and outside. A good job by Holly Thomas picking that one off the dirt. Frederick is at second. She singled, moved to second on a sacrifice by Jensen. Hoffman lined out to West. And a 2-1 pitch missing outside.
She's still looking for that batter. Yeah, she's still looking for that outside corner, and she's not getting that call. And I think she actually was a little too far outside on that one.
3 balls and 1 strike to Autumn Holman, the center fielder. She slaps this ball foul and towards the Lady Panther bullpen. Just out of play down the left field line.
One of the things that's going to happen when a pitcher's given the gas, you don't have to do much to put your bat out there and get that ball to travel a long way.
2 away in the top of the 6th inning, a 3-2 count to Holman. Sun has gone down, or at least behind us. And that pitch misses, the 7th walk for Casey West today, and runners at first and second.
Again, we mentioned this beforehand. This is very, very similar to what was happening in the first round of district play when the Lady Panthers hosted the Hargrave Lady Falcons. The only difference being the Lady Falcons were able to put a few more runs across, but Casey West struggling to get that zone, not getting the corner calls, and consequently has a pretty high for her walk count and a pretty low for her strikeout count.
Had 8 walks in that first game against Huffman.
This is game time.
The first time Huffman came to Liberty. Actually, the only time Huffman came to Liberty, but the first game in the 2-game regular season matchup. Karen Slack goes out after that walk. Runners at first and second, top of the 6th inning, 2 away.
This is a great time for these young Lady Panthers to cut their teeth. Nothing better than this close contest to give that experience that many of them have been lacking.
Shelby Schultz struck out, walked, and has walked twice. The pitcher for Lake Belton swings and misses at the first offering from Casey West.
That was a great pitch right there from Casey. Again, Schultz, a natural left-handed hitter.
Stands in the back of the batter's box. Holly Thomas has to slide out.
Oh, that was a good job. That ball gets by. Both those base runners are moving.
Athletic Director Chad Taylor walking just in front of us. And 1-1 pitch misses.
I don't know if you could hear my audible breath of air. That's tough.
It could have missed just below the knees, but other than that, it did catch a good part of the plate towards the outside in the 2-1 pitch. Upstairs, and Schultz comes up empty.
Yeah, Schultz really helping out West on that one. That rise ball can be a killer.
2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 out. Top of the 6th inning, 2-1 Lake Belton. This ball sent foul down the 3rd baseline. Fielded in foul territory by Jalen Pritchard. Gives an underhand toss of the ball back to Casey West in the circle.
You asked for a series, you got one, Ross Norwood.
I don't know that I asked for it.
Well, I'm going to blame it on you anyway.
This one, a liner to Jalen Pritchard. It comes off of her wrist. She picks it up, steps on third, and that will do it. 2 more Lady Broncos left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Liberty trails 2-1. Liberty Panthers Sports Network.
Coming to you this summer, the Liberty Athletics Department will host multiple sports camps focusing on skill development, as well as a summer-long power camp that will focus on general strength and conditioning. For more information, contact Athletic Director Chad Taylor, RC Taylor at libertyisd.net, or Karen Slack, KE Slack at libertyisd.net. Bigger, stronger, faster, better. Go Panthers!
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panthers Sports Network. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood on play-by-play. Producer Richard Ewing in the hot seat. And we are here in this pretty tense Game 1 of the best-of-3 Regional Championship Series. Navasota, Texas, bottom of the 6th inning. Your Liberty Lady Panthers trailing 2-1, scoring first in the bottom of the 1st, and then giving up runs in the top of the 2nd and the top of the 4th. Both teams leaving a boatload of people on the base path. The Lady Broncos leaving more. The Lady Panthers trying to figure it out at the plate. They started off hot, Ross, and it looked as though it was going to turn into some batting practice, and then the strike zone started changing.
Schultz struggled with control in that first inning. Holly Thomas leads it off for Liberty as the cheerleaders just wrapped up a cheer, getting this Liberty crowd pumped up, and Liberty trailing 2-1, getting late in game 1 of the best of 3 regional finals series in Navasota, Liberty and Lake Belton. Thomas, Bishop, and Chandler due up for Liberty. Holly Thomas takes time, steps out of the box as Schultz was taking her time to decide on a pitch. And the first pitch to Holly Thomas is a strike, catching the outside corner.
Yeah, Ross, it's been
called quite a bit a strike.
It's been since March since the Lady Panthers have lost. That's a long time. They've got 6 chances to get this underway.
Schultz getting that call all day long, and there it is again, almost the exact same pitch. And Joe, I don't like to talk about the umpires negatively, but if Holly Thomas was going to be able to make contact with that pitch, she would have needed an ironing board.
Oh, I love that. That was a very visual reference.
Thomas swings and fouls the pitch.
Well, that was an example right there of her being forced to take a cut at something that she probably didn't need to.
Yeah, when you have a strike zone where you're getting that outside corner, if you will, maybe block.
Well, it's felt like the outside corner has been in the on-deck circle a couple of times.
Yeah, and you really have a hard time because you have to swing at pitches that you would ordinarily not swing at. Holly Thomas stays alive, fouling this one back into the screen. No balls and 2 strikes, bottom of the 6th inning. Liberty scored in the first with 1. 1 run added by Lake Belton in the 2nd. 1 run in the 4th, and that's where we are. We're now in the 6th.
Taking an awful long time to get the call in from the dugout.
Trying to throw the Liberty timing off. This pitch was not called a strike as it rolled in.
You know, we did a nice little tutorial on that before the game started. Hitting is timing, and if you can do anything to disrupt that timing, you're going to be super successful defensively. And right now it's just taking a long time for the Lady Broncos to get their call in and get that ball across the plate.
The 1-2 pitch. Thomas bounces it to the shortstop, who charges it, throws on to first for the first out. Holly Thomas retired.
That was just a nice clean field by the shortstop. Schultz got right into her hip pocket there and almost wasn't able to pull it out, but when she did, nice easy strike down to first base.
Kylie Bishop has struck out and bounced back to the pitcher Schultz in her 2 at-bats. 1 away, bottom of the 6th inning as the lights turn on in Navasota. And maybe that'll be the proverbial spark plug for Liberty as Kylie Bishop swings at this pitch outside, but we've seen that pitch called a strike. One out, bottom of the 6th inning. Liberty trails Lake Belton 2-1. Bishop pops this one, and Schultz coming in towards the 3rd baseline, dives for it and catches this one for the 2nd out. And when things are going your way, things are going your way.
Dims the brakes, and right now the ball has been bouncing the way of Lake Belton.
Now stepping up to the plate, the shortstop.
But how many times have we seen the Lady Panthers in close contests pull victory out of the jaws of defeat? Not saying that's going to happen now, but we've seen it before.
Camden Chandler, the batter, 2 strikeouts, 1 swinging and 1 looking. And another prolonged delay. And Chandler gets into this one and sends it in the gap. It is over the wall. Home run, and we have a tie ball game. Camden Chandler.
Yes, sir. The freshman stepping up with a beautiful hit. Laces it over the fence and right center, and she is getting mobbed at the plate, Ross. How about that for that young lady? She came through in the clutch in the last series against Carthage. She broke out of a slump. She put the ball off the wall up in Hudson, just dented the wall. Stepping up here, that has got to be a huge confidence booster for that freshman.
I apologize to our listeners. I came out of my shoes on that one, and it was probably not very pleasant to hear the call.
You came out of my shoes, your shoes. Shoeless Joe Roberts over here. Talk about electricity, Ross. And not that the crowd had died down, but, understanding the situation late in the game, trailing by 1, and that was just what the doctor ordered.
Reese Evans is lined out to the third baseman, DeLeon, and struck out and looks at ball 1 high.
We said it earlier, we needed the bottom of the order to come to play, and that's coming to play, Ross.
With 2 outs, Reese Evans looking to reach. Bailey Slack on deck. Evans stands in the back of the box with 1 batter's glove with the left elbow up in the air and looks at ball 1. This one getting away and bouncing in to Evans. Not that the Liberty crowd has ever been quiet.
No,
they've done a good job of
this Liberty crowd is not quiet. You're right about that.
But they have really turned it up. 2 balls and no strikes. Bailey Slack looks at a strike. Catches the outside corner at the thighs.
Yeah, that looked pretty good, but that was one didn't need to swing at. Again, that changeup, you get on that one. That wasn't in the fat part of the plate. That's probably going to be a weak pop-up to end the inning. Good choice to not swing at that.
2 ball and 1 strikes. Slack fouls this one off over the third base dugout. Oh, Reese Evans. Wow. I've been decent at that today. I think maybe one other time.
That home run threw you off for Ross.
Home plate umpire walking over towards the Lady Panther dugout to get a new softball as that one was put out of play.
Yeah, this game has probably been the longest game that we've been a part of just because of the extra.
You need a caveat there, but it's not the longest. The longest was the second Huffman game. It was over about 4 days.
You're right. Okay, I'll give you that one with the rain delay.
But the longest single game is stomping by the Lady Panther fans to Bailey Slack, who takes strike 3 looking on a nice pitch from Schultz. She escapes, but Liberty ties it up at 2. On to the 7th inning. Liberty Panther Sports Network. We'll be back.
What's your favorite high school sports memory? A late inning rally? A game-winning shot? A photo finish? Maybe it's a pep rally or a pregame ritual. Maybe it's the euphoria of a late-night bus ride home after a hard-fought win. Maybe it's having pizza with teammates after the game. Now, imagine if it never happened at all. School sports need your help. With budgets getting tighter, it's more than the games that are on the line. It's all the traditions, the community pride, the culture of your hometown high school. Plus, all those memories that are on the line, too. What can you do? It's simple. Buy a ticket when you can. Go to a game. Take the whole family. Let's do everything we can to keep those cherished school sports memories alive.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panther Sports Network. Joe Roberts, play-by-play man Ross Norwood, producer Richard Ewing moving to the top of the 7th inning. And just like that, freshman Camden Chandler with the long ball over the right center field fence, tying up the game at 2 and breathing new life into the Lady Panthers and this Lady Panther crowd, Ross.
That was Camden Chandler's first home run of the year. Leading it off is Casey Schultz. It'll be Schultz, Lux, and Herrera due up for Lake Belton in a tie game, top of the 7th inning.
This is the dangerous part of the lineup for the Lady Broncos.
First pitch is upstairs and outside for a ball. That one coming in about the belly button. The 1-0 pitch is lined over Reagan Williamson down the right field line. Bailey Slack was playing shallow and fields it in a single for Casey Schultz.
Reagan almost had a play there, and that's one of the things when you have a shorter first baseman, they're not going to be able to get that. She was in a great defensive position, just not quite tall enough to get that one.
That was the hardest hit ball against Casey West today.
Well, she's been putting a little extra sizzle on it so far.
Madison Luck comes in with nobody out and a runner on in this tie game. She also comes up with no batting gloves and an elbow guard. And she's swinging at the first pitch, an elevated fastball, and sends it right back into the screen.
It's a pretty tense series right now, made even more tense by the fact that the Lady Panthers able to tie up the ball game.
The 0-1 pitch misses low.
These are the situations where you find out what you're made of, Ross. Both teams looking to dig deep and find that extra gear that they need.
1-1 pitch from West. Sent high, foul out of play. As Lux was late on the 1-1 pitch, a ball and 2 strikes. Nobody out, top of the 7th inning, a tie game. Lake Belton with a runner at first. Schultz, she singled. Casey West delivers the 1-2 pitch again, sent out of play. Liberty scores 1 in the first. Lake Belton 1 in the second, 1 in the fourth, and Liberty on a Camden Chandler solo home run puts up 1 in the sixth to tie it. As softballs come back in fourth after that ball was fouled. Casey West getting a new softball. A 1-2 count. This pitch in the dirt, a good stop by Holly Thomas, who throws her chest into that ball, keeping it in front of her.
Both catchers playing exceptionally well. Much higher level than you would expect out of a freshman. Holly Thomas has just been good all year long behind the plate.
The count is even at 2. Nobody out. Top of the 7th inning, a 2-2 game. Runner on first. Swing and a miss at an elevated fastball. Casey West's 7th strikeout.
Now stepping up to the plate, that designated player, number 2.
Herrera was able to get on last time. I think she took the walk. Is that right, Ross?
She reached on a fielder's choice.
Oh, fielder's choice. Okay.
Looked at the first pitch on the outside corner for a strike.
She was the one that I thought that won at bat. She didn't pull the bat off of her shoulder.
That was her previous at bat in the 4th inning.
Okay.
0-1 count. Herrera squatting down, gets that call on the outside corner. One of the more animated Lake Belton players, shaking her head in disgust at the home plate umpire coming out of the box. And it's an 0-2 count for Casey West. Herrera staying alive, fouling that one off the tip of the bat, sending the on-deck hitter, De Leon, scrambling to the ground. No balls and 2 strikes for Herrera, the designated player. This off-speed pitch is just tipped foul and into the Lake Belton dugout.
Yeah, she committed to that swing and realized she didn't have it, so she held it out there. And that was actually pretty athletic to keep it out there and get a piece of it.
She was looking for the express, and Casey gave her the local, but able to adjust.
I think we need to get shirts that say that, Ross. I love that. It's probably your best phrase.
0-2 pitch, 1 out, top of the 7th inning. That pitch slides off the outside corner.
He's had a couple of ring-ups on that one. Thomas is looking for the appeal, but she didn't go. Whatever you're seeing right now is not correct. It is 1-1 with 2 outs. Runner on first.
West moves the pitch out, looking for DeLeon to expand her zone, and she doesn't. A hitter's count now, 2 balls and 1 strike, 2 outs. A runner on. Shelby Schultz led off the inning with a single. She's at first. This ball is popped in the air.
And that's going to do it for the top.
We've got Casey West was able to get that one. The coach from Lake Belton saying that ball hit off the face mask of the batter. The umpires are going to get together here, and we'll see what they see. It had a weird movement to it, Joe.
It did. I did not. Obviously, we're not in a position to see that.
And
they're going to call that back.
Yep, yeah, this is a situation in which the home plate umpire might be blocked out, and the 2 field umpires coming in, and they saw the ball hit off the mask of DeLeon. And Bailey Slack, who had gone into the dugout, races back out to right field.
So again, the online scoreboard not correct. Got a 2-2 count with 2 outs, 1 on first.
DeLeon reacting very quickly after hitting that one, saying it went off of her face mask. She steps out on Casey West. A 2-ball, 2-strike count with 2 outs, top of the 7th inning. The runner on first, Schultz. And that pitch misses low and away, and it's a full count. I mentioned, Joe, that when that ball was hit, Casey West able to come on and catch it, but it had a weird English on it. DeLeon staying alive with an emergency hacks in to get down the right field line.
The thing that the Lady Panthers are going to have to really worry about right here is, that elation of thinking that they're out of the top of the inning, then having to come back on and get themselves juiced back up to get this last out to end the half inning.
Frederick is on deck.
Full count, by the way.
DeLeon looks at strike 3 on the outside corner, and that'll do it. The Lady Panthers move to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's tied at 2. We'll have the bottom of the 7th inning after this on the Liberty Panther Sports Network.
Join the LHS Panther players on Wednesday, May 26th as they present Robert Harling's Steel Magnolias. Laughter and tears abound inside a Louisiana beauty shop as 6 women find strength and love with each other while facing their own mortality. Touching, funny, marvelous. Don't miss it. Tickets are $5 at the door.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panther Sports Network. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood on play-by-play. Producer Richard Ewing. Again, apologize. We're having some technical difficulties with our online scoreboard. It is the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Lady Panthers are knotted up at 2, and they'll be bringing up Bailey Slack, the bottom of the order, so they'll be turning over the order here. And to end the inning, it looked like the Lady Panthers had a pop-up, easy pop-up to Casey West. It had a weird sound coming off the bat. In fact, it hit off the face mask of the Lake Belton hitter, and the coach for Lake Belton rushed out there quickly and was able to get the call from the field umpire, because that was a situation where the plate umpire was blocked and had no chance to see that, and he really can't go off what he heard. He has to be able to see that.
Music still blaring as Bailey Slack is ready for the first pitch. Music off, lights on in Navasota. The first pitch to Bailey Slack misses inside. Slack, Pritchard, Beam due up for Liberty in the bottom of the 7th inning. If anybody reaches, it's Casey West. The 0-1 or the 1-0 pitch misses.
Yeah, one of the side stories, Ross, has been the amount of time between pitches that the Lady Broncos are taking. Every pitch, they're looking to the dugout for the call. The Lady Panthers look to their wristbands, and much quicker for them.
2 balls and no strikes. Bailey Slack swings and fouls off the 2-0 pitch. Good hack from Bailey Slack, but
right now, Ross, the Lady Panthers don't need to play hero ball. They just need to play Lady Panther ball. A run this inning would walk off the game.
Bottom of the 7th inning, a tie game at 2. The 2-1 pitch misses high. As that one got away and got into the right-handed batter's box, Bailey Slack, a left-handed batter.
Bailey Slack doing a great job at the bottom of the order. She has been a thorn in the side so far. All tied up at 2 here in the bottom of the 7th.
The 3-1 pitch to Bailey Slack. It's sent up the middle for a base hit and into center field. And Slack reaches.
And she's done that a couple of times. And we said that earlier, the bottom of the order had to produce for the Lady Panthers. And here in the last couple of innings, they have done just that. No outs, Bailey Slack on. Tied at 2 in the bottom of the 7th.
Timeout has been called as both Coach Slacks are talking with Bailey Slack and Jalen Pritchard, the batter that is up next.
Now, Jalen Pritchard, the normal leadoff hitter, she has long ball power, gap power, and speed. One of the reasons that she's headed off to college in the fall. And this is going to be interesting to see how Lake Belton pitches her.
Well, it'll also be seen how their Lady Panthers, needing 1 run to win it, have a runner, a speedy Bailey Slack at first, who probably, with a ball in the gap, if she gets a good jump, would be able to score.
She might be able to. She does have the ability to score from first with her speed. And that wind is still working out.
Jalen Pritchard, the left-handed batter, has singled twice. And grounded to the first baseman and takes strike 1.
Now it looks as though we have our online scoreboard up and working again, I believe.
No balls and 1 strike to Jalen Pritchard.
No outs.
Pritchard looks at this ball low, below the knee. Good backhanded stop by the catcher from Belton, Lake Belton. Evens the count at 1. On deck is Macy Beam. Bailey Slack on first. She sent one up the middle. Liberty fans banging on these metal bleachers. Jalen Pritchard.
No way. No way.
This ball was shallow to the second baseman, Frederick, who threw on to first. Bailey Slack had headed towards second.
Oh, I was a fan right there. I apologize for that. Slack was off a little bit. The second baseman caught the ball, and she dove back into first. The ball got there, and the umpire down there called her out. That was very close.
That was a banger what umpires call bangers, and that could have gone either way. From our vantage point, it looked like she had just gotten that hand back in. But now 2 outs for Macy Beam with nobody on.
This is a very tense ball game, no matter how you call it. We knew that was going to be the case. Lake Belton coming in here with a lot of offensive firepower. Got a couple of good pitchers. Lady Panthers riding a really great playoff high.
Macy Beam stands in with 2 away in the bottom of the 7th inning, a tie ball game. Fouls the first pitch into the screen. And that changes the complexion of the inning.
There's no doubt about that. With Slack still on first, then Beam has some more options at her disposal. With 2 outs, now she's going to be limited just a little bit with what she can do.
Lake Belton taking their time again. Not that that's anything new to our listeners. Macy Beam swings under the offering from Schultz, and it's no balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. An inning that started out with a Bailey Slack single, quickly changed on a
liner
pop out to the second baseman Frederick, and she got on to first, and Bailey Slack was called out at first. Beam pops this one straight in the air. And coming out of the circle is Schultz, and she does it. That is it for Liberty. They get a hit. They leave nobody. We go to the 8th inning, tied at 2. Liberty Panther Sports Network.
It's going to take guts to make the 200-mile trip from Liberty to Austin. Along the way are 5 rounds of grueling playoff softball. Lose, and you go home. Once you get there, another 2 until you're the last one standing. Will it be the Lady Panthers? Time to find out.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panther Sports Network. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood, producer Richard Ewing have a first for us. Extra innings for the Lady Panthers. Moving into the top of the 8th inning. Both teams tied at 2. Lady Panthers able to pull level in the bottom of the 6th inning with the Camden Chandler solo shot, and neither team able to score in the 7th. And here we are in the 8th. Again, game 1 of the best of 3 series. Both teams trying to get the advantage and get that precious game 1 victory to put the other team against the wall for tomorrow's 5:30 contest. And again, tomorrow the game time will be 5:30, not 6 o'clock. Navasota having graduation, and so both teams having to push up the start in order to kind of be out of here before that begins.
Frederick looks at strike 1 on the outside corner from Casey West. Frederick has hit into a fielder's choice, bounced to Bishop at second, and singled. Sending the 0-1 pitch sharply into the screen.
Yeah, Frederick has had a pretty good game defensively, and she's done some damage on the base path as well.
That pitch low, smothered by Holly Thomas. A ball and 2 strikes to Frederick. Frederick serves this one out into center field. It is off the wall, bounces right to Bailey Slack. Bailey Slack can't field it. Frederick goes into second as the throw comes in. Bishop plays it off of her chest, and a leadoff double for Frederick.
Well, she's definitely been the hot hitter for the Lady Broncos. And that was a nice hit. With that wind pushing out, anything in the air is going to go a little bit farther than you expect.
Michaela Birkeland was moving towards
right
right field with Bailey Slack moving towards center, but that ball was on the wall in a hurry. and it was going to be hard to limit Frederick, the speedy Frederick, to a single. And she is at second with nobody out. Squaring around to bunt is Jensen. She gets it down. The throw to first to Bishop, who's covering first, is there. Bishop had to reach out to get that throw from Pritchard.
Yeah, Pritchard turned and thought about going to third base to try to get Frederick, and then thought better of it. And almost didn't get her at first. That came across the baseline. Good play by Bishop to pull that in. And now they have a dangerous runner in scoring position here in the top of the 8th.
We're tied in the top of the 8th. Extra innings. Little strategy section in the circle for Liberty.
The left fielder, number 16, Haley Hoffman.
Haley Hoffman singled, walked, and is popped out to the second, lined out to the pitcher. Excuse me, I thought that was a 4. It was not. And the first pitch from West is a ball.
One of the things that I feared early on is that Casey wasn't going to get that corner, and she's been forced to bring her pitches in a little bit further than she wants to.
The 1-0 pitch misses above the belt. 2 balls and no strikes to Haley Hoffman, the 9th place hitter for Lake Belton. She's also the left fielder. Holman is on deck, and this pitch missing below the knees and inside. And it's 3 balls and no strikes.
Ideally, the Lady Panthers want to deal with this batter to get that precious second out so that they can negate the runner on third.
Infield is playing in. Middle of the field wide open. Casey West started, but time was called by the home plate umpire, requested by Hoffman. As Hoffman steps out, Holly Thomas and Casey West trying to get on the same page here with a runner at third and only 1 out. They have talked. Tied at 2 in the top of the 8th inning, but a runner at third for Lake Belton, and this ball is squibbed on the ground and off the heel of the glove of Bishop, and coming in to score is Frederick. And the home plate umpire moving the Lake Belton team, the entire Lake Belton team coming out in excitement. Lake Belton takes a 3-2 lead. Lake Belton head coach is going to go talk to his dugout.
Well, to their credit, that is something that they want to celebrate. Going to get a warning from the plate umpire. That's just an unfortunate error right there. Frederick was not going to come down, and then as soon as the ball booted, fast enough to get in there and score.
Autumn Holman.
Back to the top of the order, Autumn Holman, a strikeout, a ground out, 2 ground outs, and a walk. Only 1 away in the top of the 8th inning. An E4 on that one, no RBI. And a swing, a bunt and a miss.
Neither team wanting to go gentle into that good night. Both teams scratching and clawing. A Game 1 victory puts the other team against the wall tomorrow.
Swing and a miss at a pitch that was way upstairs. And 2 quick strikes to the leadoff hitter, Holman. One run is in for Lake Belton in the 8th inning. A 3-2 Lake Belton lead. Swing and a miss, and that is a strikeout for Casey West. That is her 9th.
The Lady Panthers with the force at second, the force at first. So they got multiple options to get out of this half the inning, but now they're going to have to go to work to draw level in the bottom, or it's going to be game over.
Shelby Schultz, the pitcher, was in the box, steps out of the box, looks at her bat, has her Left hand in the air, ready for the first pitch from Casey West. She swings and misses. The runner at first, Haley Hoffman, reached on an error that scored Frederick, who had doubled to lead off the inning. That pitch catches to the outside corner, just above the knees, Joe. A lot of movement.
Yeah, he liked that one. I wasn't sure he was going to call that a strike.
There was a lot of movement by Holly Thomas there. Swing and a miss, and Casey West picks up the strikeout, but damage has been done by Lake Belton. The Lady Panthers head to the bottom of the 8th inning, needing at least a run to extend the game. 3-2 Lake Belton to the bottom of the 8th. Liberty Panthers Sports Network.
All of us love sports, but not all sports are created equal. College sports have big budgets, dedicated alumni networks, and corporate sponsorships. Professional sports have even deeper pockets, millionaire owners, lucrative TV and radio deals, and merchandise sales. High school sports have you. Everyone agrees high school sports give us plenty of reasons to cheer. And now's a great time for us to give back. Supporting your hometown high school won't cost you much, but it will go a long way to ensuring the games we love the most are here to stay. Texas high school sports. They're good for our kids, good for our community, and best of all, they're good for you.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panthers Sports Network. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood on play-by-play. Producer Richard Ewing. Moving into the bottom of the 8th inning. Lake Belton able to score after a leadoff double. Moved over to third. Scored on the error on the second baseman boot. And now the Lady Panthers are 3 outs away from going home in a 1-0 hole. Fortunately for the Lady Panthers, 3-4-5 up for them. Casey West and Michaela Birkland and Holly Thomas, all 3 with gap power and home run power.
Casey West leads the team with 10 home runs. And she will face Shelby Schultz, the left-handed pitcher for Lake Belton. Schultz gets this one at the knees on the outside corner.
Yeah, the lefty has been pretty unwilling to throw the heat to the middle of the order, preferring to get that changeup or the outside fastball, or slow ball, I should say.
The only issue with that is if you miss your spot on that pitch and you send a beach ball up there, that pitch just above the belt. Same location on that outside corner, but a little too high. It evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Michaela Birkland on deck. Lady Panthers need at least 1 to extend it in extra innings in the bottom of the 8th inning. First game that Joe, I, and Richie have done with extra innings. This one fouled straight back by Casey West, and it looked like it may have caught in a piece of her hand. That or it really got down on the handle of the bat.
Now the good thing is that's her glove hand, not her pitching hand.
But she is
still going to
really
be uncomfortable.
favoring it. And she is, you know, when you have a pitch like that that gets down that low on the bat handle and you make contact with it, sometimes it just
don't know if it hit her or if it get a little stinger on that. Definitely uncomfortable.
Casey West, a 1-2 count.
Senior shaking it off, stepping back into the batter's box. The quietest I've heard this Liberty crowd probably all season long.
Reaches down on the field turf to get a little grip on that bat, that left hand. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So that pitch got in on her, one of the few we've seen inside. And West fouls this one back into the screen, staying alive. Liberty trails by 1. Bottom of the 8th inning, Casey West at the plate, a 1-2 count.
Casey doing her best to battle here against the lefty Schultz.
The 3-2 pitch. Bounce to the first baseman Jensen, who steps on the bag for the first out of the inning, and the Lady Panthers down to their last 2 outs. 1 unassisted scored.
Yeah, that was uncomfortable at bat for her after taking that stinger off of her non-throwing hand. To her credit, stepping back in there and trying to finish the at-bat.
Michaela Birkeland has walked, grounded into a fielder's choice, and struck out in her 3 previous at-bats. I have an egg timer on the table, Joe. I think we need to start timing in between pitches. This is more like a baseball game in between pitches. And Birkeland looks at the first pitch low, just above her shoe tops, comes in across the plate, but just above her shoe tops.
Again, still some life here, no need to press. Just need to get a ball put into play.
Holly Thomas on deck. The left-hander delivers a strike, which
she has been getting that location call all night long.
It must have caught that front part of the plate before diving into the ground.
That's probably the only consistent thing that I've seen is she's been getting that particular location against the righties.
Catcher moves outside. Tries to get the call on the corner, but that pitch misses well outside.
Good job by Birkeland to lay off of that. She's just waiting for her pitch. Again, she's headed to Stephen F. Austin to apply her trade at the collegiate level for the Lady Jacks. And she's been a revelation at the plate this year, and she needs to do it now.
Wind blowing straight out to center field. Maybe shading a little bit towards left field. The 2-1 pitch. Birkeland fouls off over the screen and onto the shade that is over the stands on the Lake Belton side.
Well, school day tomorrow, Ross. I'm going to be none the wiser in the morning. This has been a pretty good one. The first extra inning games that we've had this season with the Lady Panthers.
Wind has shifted. It is now blowing from right to left field. Straight crosswind here. A 2-2 count to Birkeland. 1 away. Bottom of the 8th inning. Birkeland looks at this pitch. And Joe, that pitch was low and outside, but it did look like the umpire was ready to pull the Leslie Nelson and Naked Gun and ring her up.
He was looking at it.
Full count to Michaela Birkeland. That pitch misses low and a 1-out walk.
There we go, the tying run at first, the go-ahead run at the plate. Holly Thomas, the catcher, in the batter's box now. Again, don't have to hit a home run. They just need to stay alive. 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. Lady Panthers trailing 3-2, Ross.
Birkeland, the speedy center fielder at first. Holly Thomas is saying that the pitcher for Lake Belton is taking her time. She steps out on her. And the first pitch to Thomas is sent foul down the first baseline. First base coach Joe Slack sticking his hand out there to make the play, but that ball was moving.
I was thinking he might go ahead and make the dive. No cameras on him now.
We have time called now by the head coach for Lake Belton, and he is going to bring his infield in.
I bet these conferences in the circle and the amount of time it's taken between pitches has probably added an extra half hour to this contest. Again, Liberty Panthers Sports Network, Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood on play-by-play, producer Richard Ewing. Bottom of the 8th inning, Lady Panthers trailing 3-2. Do have a runner on first base. Michaela Berkland with the walk. Casey West hit a grounder to first for the first out. And Holly Thomas at the plate took strike one. And here we are, Ross.
The conference is over. And interesting, Joe, that with Lake Belton's coach going out and talking, they're still looking at the dugout for the pitch. And after 8 seconds, actually 10 seconds, as Holly Thomas fouls this one on top of the Lake Belton dugout. Took 10 seconds between pitches.
This off-speed pitch that Schultz is throwing just really has shades of Haygood from Hargrave. I know we've talked about this game being very similar to Game 1 against Huffman. Even though she's a lefty, she throws a lot like Haygood. Haygood tried to come in, and she's coming out, but the style is what I'm talking about.
0-2 to Holly Thomas. Looking for the sign from the dugout. She steps to the rubber in the circle. 21 seconds in between pitches, and Holly Thomas looks at that pitch a little high, evens the count at 2. Joe, 21 seconds between pitches. Kind of talk about the difference in what you see most of the time in softball, how that's different. Maybe in baseball,
normally this is a game of speed, and what they've done is they've slowed it down and made it more like baseball, and it's really throwing off the timing of the hitters.
Thomas bounces this one to Shelby, the pitcher, who throws on to first for the second out of the inning, and the Lady Panthers down to their final out.
Now we have Alex Wiley stepping up, and Wiley, she was another one of those young Lady Panthers that were able to get some action in that Carthage series. She had a big knock against them in Game 2, and now it's up to her. The runner's in scoring position, and if Wiley can get anything in the gap, if she can get any kind of anything, that's going to score a run and extend this game.
Wiley, 429 average with runners in scoring position, and she has Berkland, who walked at second. Liberty needs a run to extend this one. The speedy Berkland at second. Wiley in the box, pinch hitting for Camden Chandler. Kylie Bishop. Swing and miss at the first pitch, taking a cut and swinging under that one.
Well, she took a big league cut at that one. If she would have gotten any of that ball, that might have ended up in College Station.
Wind blowing straight out again. 2 away, bottom of the 8th inning. Liberty trails 3-2 to Lake Belton. And that pitch misses.
Good eye by Wiley, the sophomore, stepping in there, forcing Schultz to give her something. And that's been the thing. They have got to force Schultz to give and not reach on crazy stuff. And a part of that has been the strike zone has been a little iffy.
Yeah, when Schultz is getting that outside block, you can't be as selective as a hitter when you can get rung up on that pitch. Swing and a miss. And Wiley down to her last strike. The Panthers,
on both of her cuts, she has dropped her back knee and dropped her back shoulder and has tried to throw everything, every ounce of power into that. That's a feast or famine a la Evan Gaddis that I'm looking at right now.
Wiley down in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Here is the 1-2 pitch. Ball. And that pitch has been called a strike before, but Wiley takes it.
Yeah, both fan bases really ready to cheer. Lake Belton really wanting this to be over, not wanting to extend it to another inning. and the Lady Panther fans looking for either a score or another inning out of this if they can get the score.
5:30 game time tomorrow, right back in Navasota. Wiley looks at strike 3 on the outside corner, and you would think Lake Belton just won the series as they mob each other on the infield, and they take a 1-0 lead against Liberty.
Liberty Panthers Sports Network, Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood on play-by-play, producer Richard Ewing. Lady Panthers drop game 1 of the best-of-3 series. We'll be back here tomorrow for a 5:30 p.m. game time. We'll see you tomorrow.